Welcome into Fed Week. Welcome into what should be a very exciting week for the overall market. Stocks are higher to start things off to the tune of about 0.22% right now for the S&P 500. Nasdaq getting a little bit more of a gain, being helped by Tesla shares up big time here this morning on a huge purchase for Elon Musk, buying $1 billion worth of Tesla shares, doubling down not only on the company, his vision for the company, but the potential of, $1 trillion pay package to come ahead of what is to come on Wednesday afternoon this week. We'll hear from Fed Chair Powell. We'll get a cut. Will it be 25 basis points? Will it be 50 basis points? A lot of people with different opinions on that simple fact heading into what could be a turning point, I think, for the overall market and the overall week as well. Adara beside me this morning. Sharif with the day off. Good to see you.
Yeah, great to be here, especially on such an exciting morning, Brendan. We know that Robin Denham, the chair of the Tesla board, was making quite a few comments on Friday. Some of them were a little bit odd, but mostly just about how Elon Musk is the man to lead Tesla. And Elon Musk certainly wanting this massive pay package that was announced a couple of weeks back. In order to do that, he has to get Tesla to $8.5 billion in market cap in 10 years. And moves like this are a pretty good way to start that off. Nvidia also on watch. More China issues there. We know that Nvidia is also going to be heading off to UK, or rather its CEO Jensen Huang will be heading off there.
Yeah.
Lots of data center deals there. It should be a very exciting week, kind of no matter what sector you're looking at.
Yeah, speaking of Nvidia downside here this morning, I mean, it's trying to bounce right now back to 175, but antitrust probe from China this morning coming through, whether or not this turns out to be really anything. I mean, the market's showing we're kind of shrugging it off, I think, at this point already. So we'll see how Nvidia shares bounce back. But bottom line, the gains for Tesla this morning easily offsetting some of this weakness coming from not only Nvidia, but from the semiconductor group in general. Lots to come. Yeah, we're still in our temporary home. So the black background, if you're seeing it for the first time again, we've retired the original set for this part of the show. So we're in a temporary home for the next, I don't know, few weeks or so. I'm not going to put a timeline on it because I don't even know at this point, so I don't want to jinx it. But yeah, this is going to be home for the next little while for Adara and the news desk. So welcome in, brand new week. Morning, guys.
Funny.
Yes.
Yo.
Elon.
I was just telling Joe, Elon's going to, I have the whole show in my ear right now. I must have something.
Oh, for real?
Off here.
It
right
must
there.
be the Unity.
I just turned it off. Yeah, Elon, as I said, Elon's going to make us a lot of money if he hasn't already. I mean, I think this move is just about.
Can't hate.
I don't want to say it's just started because it's up 8% right here, but it's ticking out right now. It's up to almost 429 here, going higher, looking at that 430. It's like, please don't break until the market opens, but I think we're going to do that anyways. There goes 430. We had Steve Talman on Friday, and I was like, look, I think Tesla's going to 420, and he's like, oh, I have my stop order at 420.69 or whatever, just because that meme level, and there it is. It came into play. Not that that level means anything, but it's up to 420 again and looking to break out, right? I mean, we've kind of been calling some of these plays on breakouts. Now, it's nice to get that Elon story, buying $1 billion. I mean, I wish that we can instantly do something like that, and then it pops up 8%.
You just get a free 8%.
You know, you just make your quick 70, 80 million, or
it's more the day before. You know, like he's buying on Friday.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then,
whatever prices he got, right?
Yeah, like obviously straight away off of the open, but there was a buy program on it on Thursday too. Like it was kind of, you could see the lead up going into it, but unfortunately, you know, that's how it goes. We don't all get to have that opportunity, but it does present confidence, right? Like at the end of the day, like this is a stock which it had not been participating as much in the rally. It's all-time highs, and Elon buying above 400. Hey, I'll take it. I mean, if the CEO's confident and wants to be picking up shares, it's hard to make that a bad thing. I mean, 8% already today seems a little bit cray. The other side of that Nvidia story, there was the antitrust specifically for Nvidia, but there's like this anti-dumping probe as well, which they're doing. It seems like a lot of posturing going on. Ooh, we got
good. Today. Those pubs actually look pretty decent.
Yeah, they look good.
Yeah, I like I didn't go into too much of that Nvidia.
But they're meeting. So Trump is meeting Xi potentially this week. So it's probably all just posturing. Let's see if we can't get.
Derek told me Trump wants to get rid of the NFL kickoff rules. Like, what is even going
on?
on?
That was pretty random.
Why can you just make these?
No, but he talked about the companies not having to report quarterly and semi-annually, which it's hard from an actual business standpoint and an efficiency standpoint. It's hard to argue against that. But how he cares about the NFL kickoff rule, which I don't actually mind, to be honest. I kind of like the returns that they're getting. Whatever. Plus, too, I mean, I can't be mad at anything NFL when the Bills look this good.
Bills played, who did they play? Oh, Jets.
The Jets.
Yeah, that's what it was. And I don't know, did Justin Fields lose his job? Like, I don't know. This is
he got concussed.
Oh, did he? Okay.
Yeah,
I saw the line. I didn't see too many highlights, and I saw that his line was.
Oh, he got rocked.
Oh, okay, so he left the game. Okay, so I hope he's feeling better. Okay. I didn't know if they pulled him. That's why. So.
Well, I mean, he was playing that bad.
Right. Okay.
But don't get me wrong. Like he
and the Bills D is not that hype, to be honest with you.
Oh, whoa.
You're not.
Okay, just because we don't have Micah Parsons doesn't mean we don't have a good defense.
But the Bills D is not that hype.
We got a good defense, okay? It may not be as good as the Packers, but we have.
Yeah, it's definitely I think the Ravens are going to be. I want to see that rematch again. I can't wait for the AFC.
Oh, you're going to the AFC.
Because KC, I don't think we're going to have to worry too much about. And now Cincinnati with Toe Burrow, you're not going to have to worry too much about that.
Kelsey's cooked.
The Bears look absolutely horrible. The Chicago Bears, like, wow, that team is a disaster, man. 52-something they lost, or whatever it was, to the Detroit Lions. You know, I don't even want to talk, but they're on the 4th year of a rebuild, and they're getting worse. Okay, so lots to talk about today, as you guys can see. We've got Obi in the building right now. My main man, Obi, is right here. And we're really close to these guys now. Yo, what's up, Obi?
You can throw stuff at them.
Yeah, what's up, Obi? Obi has a couple undercover trades he's ready to go through with, so we're excited for that. We're now right beside these guys, so now Joe and Obi is right here. I think at 10, I don't know if we're going to be doing a different format today. I think we may be.
Not yet.
No, I don't know if we are at 10 or not, but we'll get ready to go for that. Nasdaq right now flat on the day. I mean, it's up. I should say up 0.14. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, lots of interesting things happening here today, and I think
as long as no one walks under that ladder, I don't know.
Yeah, or they say don't walk under a ladder.
You're not supposed to walk under that ladder is bad luck.
I definitely don't want to do that if we're going to be trying to make it. Oh, by the way, yeah, I just saw in the note there, Oracle is another name that we may or may not get to at some point. But look at this name today,
finally.
Up 3%, finally getting back off the schneid there. Nice upside there, taking out 3 bills right now. Okay, Tesla's marching again, man. Like it's 838. Like it doesn't stop raining. Randy, why didn't you tell us to buy this thing at $250? Like now this is $430. Tesla again, Randy, making everybody look foolish. Just going to the upside, keeps on going. Shout out to Chef Joe. Shout out to everybody that's been waiting for something like this to happen. Almost right back to these highs one more time there, off nothing, just off of, well, it's no news specific to the company other than shareholder buys. And it was Elon Musk, of course, Randy, that just bought some there. Just chump change for him. I think he took offense to Larry Ellison. You know, he was like, look, Larry, you're not taking me out here. I'm just going to announce that I'm buying more of my own company, and this thing will rocket, and then on paper, I will then again be the richest man, although I don't think he was ever overtaken.
Larry's got a bigger.
Yeah, Larry's got a bigger boat. Don't tell that to Elon, because then he's going to make Tesla boat or something like that. That's going to be like the
Larry
world's
does
largest
have one heck of a yacht.
Right there. And then we have Robinhood as well. I want to look at that today. That's at 115. That's doing things. Recently, big V-shaped recovery there on Friday for Robinhood. And then the other bank names, JP Morgan and everybody else, just continues to climb higher today. So this is just like a really bullish environment, I feel like, right now for the markets. I mean, we've been talking about that. Where's the negative?
So many all-time highs.
How about
many
Wednesday?
52-week highs. So many of them. Look, at the end of the day, we're going to get a quarter point.
Yeah, I think it pulls back off.
It's locking back in. And, if the mere fact that we were even talking 50 points doesn't necessarily mean a good thing, but you have a long litany or laundry list of, you mentioned Robinhood. SOFI made a 52-week high break. 52-week high breakout on, this morning, really. It's just essentially gapping through. No news, but this is just what we're doing. Alphabet, there's another one for you. Google, looking pretty strong, up a couple points. This is another all-time high breakout. There is some weakness in addition to Nvidia. Meta is actually having a little bit of trouble today. So it's not all good, as this one is slightly in the red. But all systems go. Too many breakouts to go over all of them. We have a lot of names to get through. Let's head back on up to the desk. I know we're going to have Michael coming through as well.
I was going to say Oracle, I think, is going up on TikTok stuff too, right?
Oh, it's TikTok?
Yeah, Scott Besson's talking about how they think they have a deal here for Oracle, or for TikTok. And we know Oracle, I think, was hosting some of the data over there. So if the deal is to remain... Oh, here we go. All right, so Trump is calling Powell Mr. Too Late again. He's talking about it right now in our ear. He's saying he needs to cut them ASAP and the housing market will soar, he says. Oh, let me check what Fannie Mae is doing here quickly, FNMA, because that was another name that, okay, $15. So Fannie Mae coming down just a little bit here today. It's up 2.5%. What am I talking about? That's just one. Oh, that's because it ticked up there to 15.12. Yeah, no, we closed Friday around 14.60. It looks like we're going to be up a little bit here on Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. Yeah, Joe Burrow out 3 months. Yeah, we know. But that Browning guy should be okay. They're lucky they started 2-0. You know, that's a good little start for them. And then quickly here, Palantir, 170 again. Palantir's back, baby. We're happy with that one as Palantir coming back to the north side here again. So, yeah, as Neil said, let's go back over the desk. We'll see if Michael Noss is ready, and if not, we'll talk about more stuff.
All right, a couple things happening right now. Trump is making some comments right now, not only about the interest rate side of things, but also about TikTok. Apparently, Scott Bessent now following through on this. The framework, quote unquote, the framework for a TikTok deal has been reached. Sharif's not here today, but he'll be very happy about that.
I mean, honestly, for me, I'll believe it when I see it. That's generally my approach. We've heard so much about a potential TikTok deal and seen basically zero follow through on that potential TikTok deal. Even a man that we mentioned earlier today, Larry Ellison, at one point believed he was reportedly in talks to have something involving this TikTok deal. Unclear where that stands right now. But either way, I mean, always watch Snapchat and Meta. We talked about Meta being a little red. Maybe that has something to do with this TikTok deal, but it's funny the way it was teased as well on Truth Social. Trump never named TikTok at first. He said a certain social media company that young people love. Scott Bessent making that confirmation. Yeah. And then, yeah, also it's worth noting here, Trump is not only calling for Powell to cut rates, he's saying bigger than he had intended. So he's really going for, I think, at least a 50 basis point cut here, but we know Trump thinks that the interest rate should be down to 1. So we'll have to see.
It's not going to happen. They'll go a quarter point on Wednesday. I mean, there's a lot of people. I mean, I was watching Bloomberg this morning. There's a lot of people with opinions following through on that as well, that a quarter point just doesn't even move the needle at this point. Yeah. And why not just, get the ball rolling a little bit further? Just heard this, Apple back to almost day highs, or approaching day highs here. There was a note from Bank of America this morning specifically saying wait times for the iPhone 17 longer than previous models. There's always something that they find whenever they release a new model of the iPhone, guys. But I mean, it wasn't necessarily a negative note, just more of a cautious note from Bank of America this morning. Market doesn't care. Stock up nicely here 2 days in a row.
The buy the dip on Apple was evidently
short-lived.
You had to wait 1 day, essentially. You forget about the 3-day rule. This was the 1-day rule in full effect after the iPhone event. And it's right back to where it was before. Although not really, I mean, not necessarily breaking out that prior high, because it's 238 was where it turned around on the event. So there's still maybe one leg to go here for Apple before you're clearing it back out. And this is sort of the thing in this cycle, whether it's this earnings season, this last couple of quarters, when the quality companies get sold for almost whatever reason, you just want to be finding places to get into them. And ultimately, this ended up being wrong to wait for a moving average. You just needed to buy that initial dip. I think the cycle will be good, but at the end of the day, this was a stock that was probably trying to look for an excuse to join the rally in the first place when everything was breaking out to all-time highs and it was languishing a bit. I don't know that if it takes out 240 this week, it'll do something explosive like Tesla did when it broke away to make a run at recent highs. But, it's like boringly effective is what Apple is. Kind of like the Bills defense is boringly effective and not...
They're not that effective, dude. That's
yes, they are.
They give up 40 points to the Ravens.
The Ravens are sick.
And then they only won because Henry fumbled the ball.
The Ravens are a good team.
They are a good team.
Ravens are a good team.
I like to see them against a non-Justin Fields-led team. No, I think I can't wait. I think it's going to be Bills.
There's been no in between.
I just think the AFC Finals, Bills-Ravens. I'm just waiting for that. It's already week 2.
Did I mention that Kelsey's washed?
Kelsey's washed? Yeah, I mean, that whole... obviously. I mean, he's marrying a billionaire. Like he's washed. He's done.
I just wanted to throw that.
He is done, man. He is done. Kelsey is nice, but he's already 36 years old, 35 years old.
Good for him.
I really, yeah, great for him. I really like Apple here. I've already talked about it. I think everybody and I don't know about everybody, but there's been a lot of traders. We were waiting for this level to hit, and it didn't hit, right? So, yeah, I had an opportunity to buy that Apple trade. I mean, there was also a negative story on Friday about Apple, I believe, as well. That came out about the same sort of supply issue, and it just kept on going back up. So there's the sort of the hangover from the Apple event, and it was obviously well liked. I think that short, that thinner model of phone is hot. I think they're going to sell. That could be the upgrade cycle, honestly. And then just whatever they have to do with AI. I mean, just download the ChatGPT app, man, and get it over with. But anyways, I think Apple wins, and I think it continues to win and forever winning. The AirPods, I think, can move the needle a little bit anyways. The phone is going to be a forever buy for people. I feel like it doesn't matter what ecosystem you're in. Like if you like the Google Pixel, you kind of wait your 2 or 3 years or whenever your upgrade cycle is, and you grab that. If you're a Samsung guy, you probably wait for that to happen. If you're waiting for a fold phone, you can either wait for Apple's or move over to Samsung or Google right now. Like there's different opportunities, and I just think that all these companies, the phones are just such great quality everywhere, Huawei, everything, that it's just a matter of picking up which one you're most comfortable with. And with Apple's install base, it's just huge. So I really think Apple continues to win. Great to have them releasing new products. I'm excited. Today, the new sleep stuff comes out for the watch, so that should be another big thing for them. So yeah, man, I mean, late to the party, but they're in the party, and that's, for me, all that matters. So yeah, Oracle's still running. I see you guys talking about that in the chat. But again, they are attached to a great report, that like a report to the likes that we've never seen before. Basically 40% up on a major, huge market cap company, $1 trillion company, gets a 40% bump on earnings. That's ridiculous. And that's what happened. And then we get a little bit of a hangover. And then now apparently this TikTok story starting to get going a little bit here. So we'll see if that is the reason for Oracle here. Or is this Larry Ellison being mad again? Because oh, Tesla's up 8%. Let me see if I can buy some too. I can just buy some Oracle in the pre-market here and squash this story. All right. We wait for this every single day.
I could see him doing it.
It's upgrades and downgrades with Miami Joe.
Yeah, we can go with Miami Joe this morning. All right, guys. All right, guys. Yeah, all right. Yeah, I guess I do. All right, guys. All right, hope everyone had a fantastic weekend. Let's take a look at what we got going on the upgrade side. So we have a hot sector, yes, that is going to be the quantum space. Breaking out, we have IONQ getting that price target raised to $80 by Needham, and then also Reddit making a push on its daily as well, too, guys, getting that price target raised to $300 by the same group. Now, CubeSmart by Evercore ASI up 1% on the session, but also getting that price target raised to $36. Now, GE Vernova also getting the nod to $740. Now, on the downgrade side, we have Rothschilds & Co. downgrading Under Armour, lowering that price target to $6. And then, yes, NewScale getting that downgrade to $450 by RBC Capital Markets. And then Bullish getting the nod from sell to neutral, now on price target lower to $55, and TeraWulf as well, too, guys, by Compass Point, getting that downgrade this morning.
Ooh, IONQ, 52-week, all-time highs. What am I talking about? 52-week high. All-time highs get made very, very briefly at the in the afternoon there, and now continuation, 4% to the upside, super strong. I mean, Rigetti went as well, but you'll probably, if you pull them both up, Rigetti was flat this morning when I checked, and you're getting continuation with IONQ. The story on Friday was basically was for them, and 17 points. It's when you look at this kind of a bull rally, sometimes you're going to think it's a little bit overextended. But when I see something like this, when you're holding above the all-time high, it's one thing if you fail an all-time high after a bull run, you might think a pullback. But today, just look for that continuation play. As long as it's over the prior high, which is all the way back at 55, you had some resistance at 56. Yeah, I want to be buying some dips here in IONQ. If it loses the 55 level and you're red on the day, at that point, I would give it up. But this one looking for the long side.
I got another one here, SMR there with NewScale. Again, there it goes, trying to get upside one more time here. Come on, Tesla. Switch charts. SMR, I was going to say, I didn't think SMR was up 8%, but it may be at the end of the day. It's up right now 4.5% and starting to tick up higher right now. So I think, again, this kind of a name, we saw the GE Vernova upgrade there, you know, power and supply of power and data center power and everything right now. It's sometimes it's about the picks and the shovels, right? I mean, something's got to get this going. We could, if and when we have Michael, I mean, he knows about picks and shovels, and there's ways you can go. You know, sometimes it's not about just trading gold. You can trade the miners and things like that. So SMR, GE, I mean, that GEV is so fire. I mean, that's a name that's been just cruising for a while now. I don't even know what the high is, but 687 bills. It looks like we may be on our way to there, up another 1.3%. But we do not have Michael today. Okay, so nice break. Thanks, Andre. Nice break there, up 37, 238 right now. So I'm going to be putting this one on the sticky note as well here today. Just an easy name to trade. We've traded it many times. Looks like it's trying to get this garbage out of here above 38. Looks like it's going to break 38 in the pre-market, but that's a level that I've written down right now. Just getting the notes up, and we'll put our note out very, very soon. But Obi sat down here, and he liked that play as well with IONQ. So there's a few eyes definitely in the trading world looking at all of these names, right? And a big shout out to my main man over there, Alpha Trade, with Brian Shannon, who pinged this Rigetti last Tuesday live on our show Tuesday night, and that was right here, right? And so it just bumped up since then, as if he was the one buying $1 billion worth of Rigetti or something. But there it goes, huge upside. And I don't know, if you're going to look for some negativity, maybe it's Palantir today, down 1.3%. So Chinese probe looking into Nvidia, and again, probes are fine, but not when they're from the Chinese. And then there you go, 175.30. We'll see if this one can hold, or aliens. Also, I heard was bad.
Oh, that's bad. That's
yeah. So yeah. You know, Google getting probed by certain people seems to be fine, but aliens and Nvidia here with China, not a good thing. And then there it goes to the downside right there for Nvidia. So a couple names, if you're looking dead red today, I think there's a few names that could definitely move with that. And if you're looking dead green, man, you got Oracle, and you got 305. Mr. Worldwide over there. Joe's gone, okay. Yeah, so that's Oracle, and then Tesla right here as well. A few big names right now. Isn't it just funny that the two richest men in the world, those are the two stocks that are absolutely ripping today, and almost all of their...
Maybe no coincidence?
Yeah, and almost all of their net worth tied to this? Go figure.
It must be nice.
Oh, man.
It must.
Well, my Tesla's downstairs charging. We had a very busy weekend up in Stouffville on Saturday, but back down in. We lost the hockey, won the baseball.
Ooh. Well,
but we're away all next weekend, and that's when the baseball consolation finals are. We're in the consolation round. Boo, consolation round, but we made it to the finals at least. So
that's all that really matters, man.
Am I ready for Tesla?
Oh,
yes, Chef Joe. I mean,
AMD is green. Raw is correct. AMD, speaking about like China and Nvidia, I do like some SOFI this week as well. No, but AMD is oddly green. So it might be one of these types of days. I expected to come in here and see Micron with more relative strength if we were looking at the chip names. And then after that headline, the dumping investigation and then investigation into Nvidia in particular, didn't really expect to see AMD up a point. As I said, I really thought it was Micron that might be the one that would do something special here today. But not
up, yeah?
It is okay. Barely up.
But considering that it's against the rest of the stories, right?
Yeah.
In the space.
Well, this is the other, this is one, you're making that 52-week high run as well. Or, I mean, it's not really a 52-week high. It's June of last year. So call it the 2024 high here at 158 that it's trying to clear out. So I thought this was going to go, and it's already kind of been up and down and failed it a couple times this morning. So, yeah, it doesn't really seem to have too much going on in terms of volume. Might have to wait a day or two of consolidation, I think, for the next leg up. Because Micron's been a beast. This one's definitely been a beast. But what's with all the bangs?
Where?
Too. Oh, we're testing?
I was going to say, I haven't hit any bangs yet here.
There's no sound, though. Oh, no sound with the bang.
Oh, but it must be this show probably hears.
Oh, you guys hear it?
They probably have the mics turned off around it. On Friday, we had Steve Tileman on, and we didn't have him in because the speakers up here.
How did you hear him?
Well, I just had this in my ear. We had
I don't use earpiece up there.
Neither do I. So it was very interesting to do it. So I had to scramble. We had to scramble a little bit, but that's why we have the best production team around right there. Cool. All right, Obi, give me one name. IONQ. All right, I just asked Obi for one name, IONQ. I already gave it to you. I told you that Obi was already looking at it, so not that surprising there. But I don't know if we have the angles here, but like right now, I am a fist bump away.
See that?
There it is. See, look at that. We don't even have to extend anymore. So we're right here, right now. Obi's ready. Oh, he got another one, Pfizer.
Now that's a name.
You want to take a look at that? Is it a backside trade there, Obi?
It's a short. It's got to be short. It's got to be short, right?
You looking? It's a backsider. All right, yeah. Actually, nice call there, Obi. Yeah, because don't tell me what to do, Obi. Okay. Obi said, "Look at the daily." I was opening the daily as we said that. And that's funny. That guy's hilarious. But there we go, underneath the 200. Yeah. So perfect, Obi. Good call on that one. Looks like Pfizer is breaking down here. Again, up today, but we'll look to see what's going on there. And you're going to be seeing a lot of Obi today as he's filling in there for Sharif. So it should be a fun one here, both on the midday show and during the day here. Obi will probably be trading here in the morning. So
I would imagine so.
I'll give him an elbow and see how he's doing on Pfizer and IONQ at some point. But
it was bad news on Friday for all the COVID stocks.
Yeah, there was Moderna, right?
It was Moderna, Pfizer, BioNTech were all down after there was some linkage to child deaths.
Oh boy, you guys are right, man. Obi, the one and only. Yeah, I only know one Obi. That is
I know. What do you mean? We had an Obi in high school. You remember?
Obi? Oh yeah. That's right. We did have an Obi in high school.
We played basketball with him.
Yeah. Was that OBIE or was
no? It was Obi. It was OBI.
Oh, OBI. Is that a short? That must be a short form.
I dated his sister.
Yeah,
they were
Nigerian.
Nigerian family.
This guy's Nigerian.
Guy's Nigerian.
Okay, good.
And his brother, little brother Udoka, was a ridiculous ball player.
You know what I mean? What
I have no idea
Obi means?
What does it mean?
What does it mean?
He's gonna. Okay, so Obi asks us, "Do you know what it means?" And we're like, "I don't know." And then he says, "I'm gonna look it up." No, when you ask that, you're supposed to know the answer.
No, I know what it means. No, he wants us to look it up.
You want us to look it up. Why don't you look it up?
He knows already.
So tell us then. It mean it's not appropriate.
Yeah, the only Obi I know is Obi Trice.
What does then?
You know, and this Obi.
What do you mean not appropriate? Why would it not be appropriate?
It's not appropriate, okay, apparently. All right, forget it. Right now, Bitcoin's down. Well, you mean see what IBIT is doing right now.
It means heart.
Oh, okay. I don't know that definition.
What definition do you? Okay, I looked it up.
Obi's from the
literally
streets.
Means heart. It's very appropriate. Very appropriate.
Okay. He wants to get the definition from the streets. Okay, so here we go. Down 1.84% right now, Bitcoin. Brendo, how's your Bitcoin holdings doing?
Can't complain. Nice. It's been a pretty good weekend. Guys, I was just reading, so the discussions that were underway this morning in Madrid with US and China officials officially wrapped up now. So this is where some of this information is coming from regarding TikTok. It was kind of interesting, the initial headline that I read said it was going to start with an extension, another extension. Yeah. If you remember, the last one was, we got to today, or it's the 17th, I believe, is the actual end of it. But as of the 17th was the end of that 90-day period. So it looks like it may be another 90-day extension. But I mean, they're using this as part of the overall trade negotiation, it seems.
Yeah, it seems to be a very large part of their approach with China. We know also in that post where Trump, announced these talks had happened, he also teased what would later be confirmed to be a TikTok-related announcement. And he said he and Xi are meeting up on Friday. So that could also be, I think, of note here as well. Trump is going to be doing a lot of trade and business-related negotiations and dealings. We have Britain or the UK as well. That's happening this week. We know that CoreWeave is set to have an announcement there. IONQ is a headline related to that. Nvidia, of course, as well. So Jensen Huang's actually attending. So this could be a really exciting week for deals. With regards to China, I suspect Friday will give us a lot more clarity and color on the situation. But either way, I mean, this TikTok, at this point, it's kind of a non-event until they give us something. We keep getting these 90-day extensions, so that's not really new at this point.
I mean, he points frequently to the younger audience and specifically his younger audience and how well he did with the younger audience.
He says that Barron helped him get the younger audience through TikTok.
So it's not like he wants to, annoy all of these people that helped him get to where he is today. A couple other things here. So Besson saying China delegation is keen to work on money laundering specifically. I mean, a lot of these are sounding quite positive in the overall scale of things. So tariffs on China imports of Russian oil were mentioned, but were not the centerpiece of the talks. Again, that coming from Scotty B. So, I mean, it sounds like things are heading in the right direction here, which, is always a positive, guys, for the overall market.
We want a deal to get done. I think ultimately at this particular point, like the market's over it. Like we're not. Maybe Nvidia needs some more clarity with China for it to make another fresh rally. Like that seems like it would make some sense. But like the overall, like the market doesn't need no help. You know, Q's at pretty much all-time highs in here at this point going into the Fed increase. Oh,
not pretty much.
Well, I mean, yeah, exactly. But you know, here's one. I just heard CoreWeave and Nvidia here in an agreement. So yeah, more positive news. It would seem like for CoreWeave. Is Nvidia moving on that? Yes, nah, not really. This is more of a CoreWeave thing.
Like Nvidia, like any deals announced for Nvidia, it doesn't they already have bookings of like
that's the
hundreds
problem.
Of billions apparently. So.
But CoreWeave 10% now. Yeah, and this has been on some kind of a rally. Like this has been a really good bottom here. I thought maybe you had a little bit more to go, but underneath that 90 level, maybe down closer into 80. But you've now closed. This could be the close where we hold the 50-period moving average on CoreWeave, where hopefully this is complete, this recovery. Because the last time it did this, it actually bounced to the 50-period and completely rejected it. And it looked like on Friday it was doing the same thing, like break it, fail it. So this looks really, really good. Hold the 50-period. I think you got some short-term rally into 140 here for CoreWeave, but we just heard that. All I heard was a deal with Nvidia. I didn't hear any specifics as to what it was, but it's the magic words, apparently.
Yeah, there's something like $6.9 billion.
This might get added. I want to add this to my list today because I think as long as it holds that 50 period, this seems like it should be ready for another leg here, CoreWeave.
All right, let's get ready to go over to the list here because we got to go through the rundown. We got our watch list going. Make sure you do scan that QR code for Orgenics, but make sure you go into the link in description. Grab our watch list ASAP because we're about to do a little bit of a rundown. Let's go back over to Brendo.
Real quick, Rivian Millionaire was asking about the, Tesla option flow. Tesla option flow. Joe's going to check that out right now.
Hey guys, what's going on? Yeah, so we know we got some news going on with Tesla and some of the data that we've seen here in the open interest column. At that 400 strike price, we have 55,600 contracts. I'm going to look for that to increase, and then also those those in the money strikes. Once that data is released, I'm going to be looking at higher price targets as well too to see if we have larger outstanding size than this 55 strike. But as of right now, 455,600 contracts at that specific level. And I'm going to see if some of these in the money that were previously out the money over the weekend start to increase as well too, guys.
All right, let's get into everything else we need to know here heading towards the open on a Monday, what's going to be a very busy week. If you haven't done so yet, jump down to the description of this video right now. Top link will get you to the sign-up page for that, or you can use that link. Comes right to your inbox every single morning. All you need is your email address. All kinds of good stuff on there this morning. Just real quick, there was a note on Robinhood. They've officially launched Robinhood Ventures. Robinhood Ventures Fund. So I was keeping an eye on Robinhood here. It didn't really do anything on that. There was a tiny little uptick back to 115.50. So just heads up on Robinhood. But yeah, let's talk Tesla. The big news this morning up huge here. Back to day highs almost, 428 coming into play. Elon with a big purchase.
Yeah, so Elon Musk here purchasing roughly $1 billion worth of Tesla shares on Friday at a variety of different prices. Overall, about 2.57 million shares of the company's stock. This is his largest share purchase by far. The last significant purchase was about $10 million worth of shares. That would be in February 2020. So this is noteworthy. So earlier I said I guess this pay package is taking Tesla to $8.5 billion market cap. I apologize, it's $8.5 trillion. That was a misstatement on my part. So yeah, massive market cap goals here for Elon Musk. And showing this kind of interest and investment in the company is a really, really good way to help them get to that goalpost, right? We know Robin Denham, chair of the board, was advocating very heavily for him on comments made on Friday, though she didn't necessarily say that he has to completely divest from politics. She said he's done with that for now, but it's up to him if he wants to do it further. His varied interests could still pose a bit of a problem, but him showing that as of right now, he is very dedicated and he's putting money into Tesla. I think that's a really good look for the pay package, and I think it's a good look for Elon Musk. He could even already be at one of these tranches for all we know.
I still go back to the first time they went through this and the first pay package and the meltdown that CNBC had when the details of the first package came out, and they said there's no way in hell he's ever going to be able to do this. And not only did he do it, he did it way before anyone ever expected him to. So, I mean, he's proven in the past he loves a challenge. The forever bid that was clearly lifting this thing on Friday, guys, turned out to be Elon himself.
Well, it's always something. Usually when you see like a program buy, like you can usually turn around and figure out like after the fact like what it might be. But this is a stock that had been trying to break out for some time, and now it really is. That we knew that it was never going to be doing this descending wedge, whatever we want to call it, compression pattern for too long. But in the last 3 days, the last 2 days and now pre-market, it's breaking out. No questions asked. And there is nothing, in terms of levels, I mean, 440 is essentially the year high, right? Like that's that January high. So that's where your room is to today, and then maybe this week, but obviously let's get through today first. It's being up 8% already is kind of jokes, but there's only two places for me that I'm looking for dip continuation. VWAP 17. If we don't hold 17, I think you could really be looking at a gap fill on this news, because it's the kind of news that's great, but nothing's fundamentally changed except for Elon's confidence in it, and we're already breaking out. So if you lose 417, I think you could see a reasonable gap fill, but it's VWAP and then a 417 level. We could easily be talking about this breaking out the high, but I'm still going to prefer to play dips than breaks, especially on the second day here.
PayPal links, something just announced about PayPal here. Tesla's coming back down, but yeah, I have it written down here, man. Between 416 and 418, these are the dip buys to cool off after the CEO purchase. But if not, man, I'm just going to rip this through 430. I don't, we hit this long at 372 last week, and it was just an absolute monster trade right off that jump right there on Friday. Boom, we had that whole move. So I don't know if Elon was calling me in my dream or what, but we had that move as well. So Elon, huge move up there. Thank you so much. We had all this long all last week. So I'll probably just push it again today and see what winds up happening up there at 430. I feel like it could be very trappish up there. Like maybe that is just an unbelievable move with nothing actually happening like in the stock other than this buy. So yeah, dipping down in. I mean, you guys know that we talked about when there's a gap faded to VWAP, so that'll be 420-ish area. I think that could be held just because it's 420. But then if that drips down, then yeah, we are looking here at the 200 period, which I thought would be at 416, 47. Between 416 and 418 is where we want to buy this name. So I'm just going to wait for that dip buy or rip this through 430. I already have the order ready to go. So if it breaks it, I don't have to do anything. I'm going to get punched in. So that's the order that I'm doing it to. Yeah, I actually am kind of excited about StubHub coming this week, but we've done really well on the IPOs, but they haven't been great. The IPOs have not been well received couple days after. So I think for the initial go there, like we had Gemini go on Friday, but then it didn't really, was it Friday or Thursday?
It was Friday.
It was Friday, yeah, because this is the last day, yeah. So, one move there, if you don't get out, then you're holding the bag. So, I've lowered the shares I use on these IPOs, but yeah, I'm pretty excited for StubHub. I was all over StubHub all the weekend. I'm looking for Leaf tickets. So yeah, I mean, I'm all over that. But the thing is, there's a lot of options with Game Time, SeatGeek, Ticketmaster. You can resell on Ticketmaster now, and they all have similar pricing. Like yeah, they all take that 10% or whatever the fee is, it seems like these days, which is ridiculous. But all right, we'll talk. Neil and I'll talk more about StubHub. But what day is StubHub?
I thought Wednesday.
Okay.
I thought it was Wednesday, but hold on a second.
Yeah, I think it could be a good one, Ross.
It says Wednesday. So.
Perfect. So Wednesday, Neil and I will be all over StubHub. It's been generally between 1 to 2 o'clock, unfortunately, are when the IPOs hit.
Yeah, this one's
that's
New York.
one. Yeah, I wouldn't mind getting an allocation for that. Actually, like if I think StubHub can hold because. Experiences. Everyone's about experiences, and if you can't get your hands on tickets, you got to go to after the resellers.
Yeah, the resale market is huge.
And it's just like people have so much money that they're willing to pay for these experiences.
I'm just skeptical that you want to do anything but trade it for the first 5 to 15 minutes, and then after that let it settle down, because none of them have been. As a matter of fact, I'm looking for a fade in Gemini today as well. But let's talk some chips.
Yeah, they dipping?
Yes. No.
All right, NVIDIA downside this morning. Initially, we're trying to get back to 175 or hold on to 175 right now. This was the major headline. China's market regulator extending its anti-monopoly probe. This was announced, I want to say 2-3 months ago initially, and we didn't really hear anything after the initial announcement, so a little bit of a follow-up here. Looks like they're going to dig deeper.
Yeah, I'm seeing late 2024, I think they initially announced they're going to probe NVIDIA's acquisition into a company called Mellanox. This is an Israeli company that NVIDIA acquired in 2020, and China at the time did give them conditional approval for this acquisition. Now, they did specify, I guess, after this preliminary probe, they do think NVIDIA has violated antitrust laws of China, but they didn't specify which laws. All they specified is that the probe will continue. The other thing here with regards to chips in China is that China opened, I guess, 2 separate probes and investigations into semiconductors on Saturday. One here is an anti-dumping investigation into chips imported from the U.S. The other is an anti-discrimination scrutiny of these U.S. restrictions on Chinese chips. So lots of chip-related catalysts here with China today. Of course, the most obvious is this NVIDIA Mellanox issue.
Was it late 2024?
That's what I'm seeing here anyway, late 2024.
Time flies. Feels like not that long ago. I was just reading something on PayPal here as well. Crypto will soon be directly integrated into their new P2P payment platform. For PayPal had a pretty good day going back to Thursday last week. Thoughts on NVIDIA, guys?
Yeah, just very quickly, I want to read that CoreWeave headline exactly. CoreWeave shares they're higher. CoreWeave and NVIDIA entered into a new order from their existing master services agreement. So that was the actual headline. It doesn't really say too much there, but CoreWeave is the one that's looking strong off of that. Now, the thing with NVIDIA, I don't know what's going to get it to break out at this point. They had a good report. The market's gone to all-time highs, and it's like it doesn't really care that much. So all we're getting is just slight bounces. It might hold a 50 period today. I'm just kind of blasé about it until we start breaking out that 185 level. And as far as today goes, on the off chance that we get there, like 179 to 180 looks like a resistance for NVIDIA. I just feel like now CoreWeave might be the way to go here, because with that news, it's not really an NVIDIA story, but it's certainly going to be a CoreWeave story for sure. Get rid of this stupid e-signal thing, but don't show it to me again. But CoreWeave, if it holds on to VWAP here for CoreWeave, which is about 118, that would be the first look. But any chance to fill in that entire gap at 115 seems a little bit extreme. I don't want to touch this breakout. Well, yeah, I don't know if I want that 125 break on CoreWeave. It is relatively clean, but I think you have a chance here to try to grab the volume weighted average price at the open going into that 125. Yeah, the news story obviously benefiting CoreWeave more than it benefits NVIDIA. There's a chance it might get up to that top to be able to short 79 to 80 on NVIDIA, but unless it's up there, I'm not playing with that. I'd rather touch CoreWeave today.
All right, I think CoreWeave on that news. I mean, CoreWeave is a really interesting name. I think we were along about $100 or something in that space as well, not too long ago. So great trade there for CoreWeave. Anybody that's supported that position. Okay, so I have written down here. I just wanted to go where the money was, and right now NVIDIA, 6 million shares. That's just so we have 3 long ideas, 1 short idea. It's going to be NVIDIA short here. We'll figure out exactly where this wants to go. I don't know if I want to be that short, because thing is, this is a Chinese basically fueled move down. We just talked about President Trump meeting with President Xi at some point during this week. Well, what do you think? What do you actually think they're going to be talking about? If NVIDIA goes down a couple percentage points here, Jensen's going to be on the phone with Trump and telling him, yo, we got to get this figured out, right? I mean, we're losing, and that's not going to bode well. So I think that's definitely a good opportunity here for NVIDIA to get back to the upside on positive China news potentially. But for right now, it's negative. So I'm going to write down 177 as a short. So if we can get back up to here, I use the word being patient again here for today for this trade. I could see the market rallying off open. I mean, the Nasdaq's at all-time highs. The Nasdaq is looking like this right here this morning. This is a 1-minute chart of the NQs. Thanks to Jag for reminding us and everybody here that's at Real Trading. Change over your symbol right now. It's NQZ. So shout out to Obi and Joe and everybody else who maybe is looking at the futures. It's Z contract today. But I'm looking short. So this is the one short idea that I have on NVIDIA. And if I have a short on NVIDIA, then I probably have a similar bias here for AMD. However, AMD is upside. So we have to just sort of take it with a grain of salt, play NVIDIA to the short side until it breaks that 177. And if and when it gets up there, at that point when we take the fill, we'll discuss where our potential outs are. Because I think $1 is probably worth it. Like that 178, that was the high for Friday in the afternoon. So I think like if you start your offering and you sort of work it up to 178, and if it breaks it, you can get out. I don't think I'd flip long, but I think a $1 worth of risk for NVIDIA, your account needs to be able to hold that. So I would use the shares appropriate to take a $1.25 hit or so if you're wrong on NVIDIA. But I'm going to go short on this name and just to see if it wants to work out. We have at 925, we're getting all these imbalances, right? So I feel like that'll be a big opportunity there, and I do want to buy NVIDIA at any dips. So if NVIDIA does dip into this, not today, I don't think it's that dramatic, but if this does escalate, I still really do like this like 160 to 165 area for NVIDIA. I know it's underneath the 50-period moving average, but this is a name where one story the other way, and it's all the way back. So I like NVIDIA buying dips, and yeah, we'll figure it out. Yeah, Oracle. We could add Oracle to this list probably as well, because it's breaking out and going, like breaking out, I mean, it's not really, it's had such a dramatic move, so it's not really doing anything, but it's breaking out of where we were on Friday. I mean, this 300, 298, it's off. So if you think that was a good quarter and you just got like a 10% haircut on that, because its high was 340, right? It got down to lower than 10%. It got down to like 290, 289 or something like that at that low. 290 low for Oracle. So now you're starting to get back to the upside there on that potential TikTok news there. Someone's saying Uber's dying. Well, we'll figure this all out. There it is. Wedbush reiterates outperform on Tesla right there. So Danny Ives can tell Elon to shut his mouth a couple weeks ago, whatever that was, but now right back there and loving the stock one more time. Not that he ever didn't, but 430 and change. Still looking for that break on Tesla, still moving higher. All right, it's Opendoor time. The bounce, maybe still not above 10.
Eric Jackson here with the latest this morning. Definitely not a meme stock.
No, it's not a meme stock, apparently. According to Eric Jackson, it is not a meme stock, and he's actually getting really upset lately on social media when you compare Opendoor to GME. So I was just kind of going through his most recent posts here on X, and there's this one that he posted about an hour or so ago saying, oh, Opendoor did 12 times the options of GME, quote unquote facts, according to Citadel's, right? So we do have Eric Jackson right now not only being offended if you call Opendoor a meme stock, but specifically seeming to want to compare it a lot to GME. We know last week he said multiple times that Drake's team, in case you guys missed it, he's been standing outside Drake's house for going on a month now, trying to get Drake to buy Opendoor shares. He said that apparently Drake's team has told them that they are, quote unquote, excited about this. That is not at all any detail, but Eric Jackson continues to push this stock while denying that its move is meme-like.
Definitely not stalking either. The overall move, I'm having mic issues, guys.
We understand.
Yeah, it's the only issue with the mic there, but you know, I don't think Opendoor comparison to GME makes sense either. We were talking about this last week. It makes more sense to compare it to like Carvana or something. I saw that in the chat as well. Does it matter? No. Like what you label it doesn't affect how the stock is going to move or how the company is going to do when we get rate cuts, and they would be an interesting one. Like on Wednesday, we're going to get a quarter. But on the off chance, if there is any chance, and it's like 3% or something like that, if there was a surprise 50 basis point cut, this is the stock I'd want to punch long. It would be Opendoor, for sure. It's not doing much today. Like on Friday, we had like, okay, well, we liked some dip buy levels, and we're able to catch a couple of good dip buys off levels. But now it's right in the middle of that range. So unless it says, like, well, let's try that 880 again. Fine. But otherwise, I need to see some bullish action going into 11. Like, this is more of a, if it's going again and holding above 10, which it never did. We wanted to be players above the $10 level in VWAP. It just never did it on Friday. If it can do that, then I think you want to look longs into 11. And now it saved the fibs. That's interesting. I'll get rid of those. I don't need these Fibonacci's in here.
Fibs. I think you said it had the fills from Friday. No,
that would be cool. They got rid of the. We used to have our fills from prior days, and you could see the trades live on the chart, but they got rid of that. But Opendoor, unless I see this thing holding above $10, I'd rather be long joining it above VWAP and above $10 into 11, or we wait for that 880 dip to come in. So it's diddling in the middle. Not going to play it unless something drastic changes here. Better names.
Yeah, I don't. So I really like this movement on Opendoor in and around $9. So it's just here's a 30-minute chart. It's just this sort of looping around right underneath here is what I'm thinking about for Opendoor. So can I even? How do I? Oh, here we go. Yeah, you can just draw this little loop, and then whoa, I don't have no idea how to use this. Okay, there it is. But no, we'll delete that. No, you can have these little things here, but I gotta do it the other way. But anyways, this little looping around there at $9, I like that level there for Opendoor. So I'm gonna bid around 9 just to see if we do get that. So you have a huge move up and a little bit of accumulation, and now you're bumping again. So this probably breaks, like what is that level? 9, well, we're so close right now, 980. I think I'm gonna go for that, man. I think I'm gonna go for that break right here on, I gotta get rid of this, get off that. Right here on Opendoor, that 980. What does that look, so that's a 30-minute chart. What does that look like on our 1-minute chart? Yeah, so, I mean, it's just bumping up higher. What does that look like on a 5? Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff up here. I mean, obviously 10 is gonna be where there was a decision made there. But I mean, if it's gonna break 10, then you're gonna be happy being long at 980. So I'm right now bidding 915, like down into here to think if we do come back in just a little bit off the open. Up 7.5% though is nice. Like that's already a nice move. I mean, you're up 154% or something like that in the last week. But nice move, it might be less than that. Nice move right there back. So I, like the stock. I think it breaks higher. You may have to wait for 10. It's going to be a little choppy there at $10, which is why I'm really debating $9.80. But we are minutes away from this, which are the imbalances. So once these imbalances come out, if this is a buy imbalance, you're probably going to shoot through that 980 anyways. So I'd watch out for $10 today, and if I sort of zoom or scroll back in, I can't see it. There's too many levels. So once we get to 10, I'm expecting big size. But hey, what is big size in this name? It did almost 1 billion shares there on Thursday or Friday. So yeah, it's going to blow through levels if it needs to. So yeah, Opendoor, really like the stock. Tesla's come back in a little bit. I want to keep updating some of the major names here because we have 8 minutes to go. So this is now fallen off $5 from that level that we like at 430. Maybe we will get our 417 and change. I'm going to bid right now in and around there because Tesla's had that opportunity where it has fallen in before it gets going again. So that's why today, all about being patient with some of these trades. All right, Apple, here we go, another one. So continuation play for Apple. This is now day 2 or 3 off of their report, off of their Apple Day, sorry. So let's go find the story with Adara and Brendo at the desk.
Or maybe just Adara.
Last week, the September 9th, they had their all-dropping event where they announced their iPhone 17 line of phones in addition to new AirPods and Apple Watches. Well, Bank of America now saying that apparently their iPhone 17 Pro and Pro Max shipping times are longer than last year's models. It's actually going to be the longest shipping delays since the iPhone 11. So that's not really changing their rating much. Bank of America maintained a $270 price target and a buy rating on Apple, but worth noting regardless. Now, also, in case you guys missed it, right at the end of the day on Friday, Bloomberg reported that Robbie Walker, yet another AI and Siri-related executive at Apple, is leaving the company after 12 years. So more AI turnover, and it looks like slower shipping times for iPhone 17. Does that move the needle for you guys?
That doesn't really change much of anything. I think this was like the buy the dip after the event and resume rally to make the run at the highs is still very much in play. You got a couple of days till the Fed, but the level I liked here was going to be 235. So it doesn't seem like that's going to be very likely for Apple. And I don't wonder, look, out of the Mag 7 names, I kind of prefer Alphabet this week, just because Apple will be running into resistance, and Google is gapping through resistance, and the only resistance was at 242 for the last couple of days, anyways. At the end of the week, all-time high 42s. It's above it now, so as long as it holds 242, looking for the dip and rep continuation on Alphabet. Nothing against Apple. I just feel like Apple gave you the rally, might slow down a bit going into that prior resistance, where I like this kind of blue sky setup for Google instead.
Yeah, so I have Apple written here again on the note. So I think, okay, there it is. The imbalances are now out. Let's just have a quick little look to see what is on here. Yeah, so there's Oracle. Like, whatever, man. When we brought this story, it was breaking 300. Like, this is why we're going on air early. That was 8:30 right in there. Nice little break higher right there for Oracle. I got to actually change my chart. I got to bring it down a little bit so I can see the timing better when I'm showing it to you guys. There goes Oracle to the upside. What's up to my Big Bear Army? That could be a good one today as well. We've talked a little bit about Big Bear AI over the last little while, bouncing off that $5 mark. I have bought no more of Big Bear AI. Ethereum was in trouble a little bit here today as well. I saw it was down a bit. Yeah, it's still down 3% as Ethereum. Yeah, so I don't see anything of concern on here. I thought that we would see a Tesla trade on that imbalance locator, and we do not. So yeah, but yeah, so Apple, I have it written down here again, sticky note on Instagram, here on Twitter as well. But there it is right now, Apple 235 to 236 long here. I think it's a nice early move in the day so far, right? I mean, it's up 1.5% when the market's relatively flat, although now the market's up. Here looking to see if we can support near Friday's closing price. That's a 234 bottom, so if we ever get into there, then I think we can like give up our long sort of thesis. But for right now, this is how the market moved on Friday into the close, not much. So I'm just thinking like any kind of a pullback here. I wrote down 236 to 235. Just because it was up so much, that this is a very dramatic pull down. I don't know if we get to 234, but if we do, then I think this is a load up the spot. Like, this is where the support is. And then if we have to hold $1 or something like that, then maybe we will back down there into 233. So let's try to be a little patient. We'll start our bidding around 236 on Apple. I feel like that'll come in off the open, honestly. So we'll take a little bit there. If it's a big winner, so what? We'll have it on half a unit. But I think the big trade for Apple is around that 234 area. And look, it must not have just been me that was expecting a big buy and balance for Tesla. It must have been everybody, because Tesla right now getting hit. And I can't believe I'm saying this. It's still up 7%. But when we were just looking at this at 430, like 20 minutes ago, now that it's down to 424, that's not, in our world, like in day trading world, that's, a $6-7 move like that is pretty.
It is a small sell.
Yeah, so, you found it, okay.
It's 294 to the sell side.
Oh, so that's actually decent size.
Yeah, it's a decent size sell.
For an opening.
It wasn't there a second ago, it just popped in now.
All right.
We'll talk a little about crypto, actually, because BMNR is trying to go.
$28, yeah, BMNR.
All right, you should be able to hear me once again. Apologies for that. BMNR, some of the Ethereum stocks starting to go once again this morning. You have more detail on that.
I do have more details. So I'm going to talk here. I mean, Ethereum is right now, released as of this morning, it was poised for a 3-day losing streak. We did have a bit of a rougher weekend for crypto, though it did break its Friday's high to start the day on Saturday. Let's talk here about Bitmine Immersion, though. We're always talking about BMNR, and for good reason. According to a press release from the company, Brendan, did you know this is the 28th most traded stock in the U.S., apparently?
I actually did read that.
Yeah, daily volume here of about $2 billion, daily trading volume. So interesting look. Anyways, they announced that right now they have cash and crypto and cash holdings totaling $10.8 billion, almost $11 billion. They do have over 2.151 million Ethereum tokens. They are the largest Ethereum treasury globally, and the second largest crypto treasury strategy, of course, second to strategy. So honestly, Brendan, the massive leap this company has made in just a couple months is quite impressive for me.
I was also reading, not last week, but the week before, there's 2 days it was higher than Meta.
Really?
Yeah, more notional was traded than Meta. Just seeing Kerrisdale with a note on CoreWeave here, guys. Kerrisdale Capital seeing 90% downside for CoreWeave shares. We all know it's already higher.
90% lower. You do your thing, Kerrisdale Capital. 1 minute to go till the open, but this BMNR is not necessarily on the radar. It's down from that crazy run that we saw on Friday. There might be a continuation there, but over in the adjacent space, it's Robinhood 114 that's on my mind. 3 days in a row of selling off in the afternoon on Robinhood. Every time it's managed to hold this 114 level. So want to look for a dip If we break 113.7, that's a reversal because that's a flat bottom break if we break that 113.7. But the first look will be if it can bounce that 114. Only 30 seconds to go. Let me just see if that Tesla imbalance is still there. I don't see it I don't see that Tesla imbalance anymore. Opendoor is the sell of 400,000. Oracle, the buy on Oracle is now 750,000. That's actually increasing to the upside there for Oracle. So let's get this party started on a Monday. The bell brought to you by VinFast, VFS over there. And scan that QR code if you can and ring the opening bell virtually about now.
Yeah, we'll have that bell going
very
soon. So, okay, guys, welcome to the show, man. SOFI trying to blast away. We didn't get to SMR. I didn't get a chance to talk about that, but I was looking at SMR for 38 long. So I'm going to look at that 38.20 level, maybe for a long break. Here comes Tesla, right down to the downside right now. 420 hit right there on Tesla. We said we'd want to be patient with it. I'm bidding right now 418. That might have been the dip buy opportunity that got flushed out near the open. So yeah, bouncing off of the 200 period moving average at 418. Let's just be patient with it a little bit here. I think when traders wake up and see 7-8%, could be a sell the news kind of situation here because it's no news other than the buy that's already happened. So very excited about it. Don't get me wrong, but let's wait to see if it wants to work. Maybe a break of 421 and we'll get in and we'll hold that against 420. So let's try that one and then that'll be maybe the best that we do for now, and we'll see about that break, and then we'll give it against 420. So here it goes right now. We are now long into Tesla. Let's see if it wants to work.
Yeah, IONQ not do. Oh, never mind. IONQ wasn't really doing much off the open there. Was looking for that pullback into prior high, which hasn't happened, but now it's got a chance to break out that top. So,
boom.
Yeah, that 58 is going to be the high, but it's about 57.80 here on IONQ. Let's see if we can't get that one.
What are we even doing? Yeah, I don't know, man. That was a good move there for Tesla. I mean, it's coming back up, but wow. Like, I laugh because, like, this just goes $4 and then just screams right back down again. So if we get out now, we're fine, but I don't know how far Tesla can go. We've gotten out too early sometimes on this name before, so let's not do that again. Let's just offer here around 423s. Again, there it is. We got it. We are now at 3 times our daily goal. We just said that we would hit 421 long against 420, so that was $1 worth of risk. We're now in the money 250. As there goes 250, how about $3? Neil, it's already a $3 winner right there. How about $4? Let's see how high we can go here for Tesla. But huge trade right there off the open. My hands up in the air, and we are waving them like we just don't care. But there it goes. Holy man, there it goes. We came in today, someone asked about where the money's coming from, said Tesla, and there it goes, man. Week done right now on Tesla, but we'll keep trading, man. It's only 9:32. Good to do some damage here right off the jump there for Tesla. But hey, man, the move is not just one way. I mean, these markets can fall off. Look at the Nasdaq really screaming higher right now. So let's see if Tesla can make our week here in the first 3 minutes. I don't know, does 425 hold? Do we get to that 430 level right now? Be patient here with Tesla. We had a $14 winner on Friday.
Yeah, good look on Tesla. We did get the break on IONQ. It got all the way to 58.8 from that high of the day break, and now it's trying to hold the volume weighted average price. So we took the breakout trade initially, went 57.80 into 58.5, but now we're trying to play a dip buy as well. Oh, Robinhood came so close, Robinhood, to that 114 level, not quite getting there. But IONQ looking for the VWAP hold. If it can hold the volume weighted average price, want to join some more long on that potential breakout play. Did we get? No, we did not get into GME.
Oh, no?
GME. Yeah, GME, I thought this move. GME didn't move at all. Gemini, that is. Gemini, I'm still looking to fade this one. I thought we were going to break out the tops and maybe shorten it to 35, 36. I'm going to move to 34 as it looks like this one isn't going anywhere. I don't like these IPOs. If they don't run on day one, then I'm fading them on day 2 every single time. And we'll get to StubHub when we get there, but I think StubHub is going to be a similar story, even though I want to buy that open on Wednesday.
Yeah, I think StubHub, always a working name. Once the IPOs hit, I
don't know if it's the right.
I think it's the right space. I think StubHub's going to. Well,
the right space.
We'll just wait to see.
We'll see.
I don't know, man. I mean, I think that right now with media and just the rights for all these sports games and all that kind of stuff, like people definitely enjoy watching sporting events at home. But again, you know, if you want to go to any of these games, there's really one place to go, and unfortunately, you know, that is the resale market. And you know, these tickets are hot, and especially with all this crap that always goes on with all these bots. Wow, dude. Go, Obi. I love having this guy right beside me. Obi getting excited right now. We are in this name. This is $4 right now. In the money. Nice upside there for Tesla. We just took another piece out there at 425. 425.69er right there. I just hit offer enter. It just turns out that that'd be the price that we got. So that was a good little price there to get out. Now it's retracing back just a little bit. Just so everybody knows, man, I have less than a third left. I have about 30, let's call it 28, 29% or so left. I can't do that math that quickly. But that's how much we have left right now on Tesla. And we'll see how high it goes, man. I mean, I was going to get out this. I mean, I still have to stop in 420 break. So $1 down. Look, I don't want to give anything back. And that's my big problem here as we kind of chase these plays. There we go. I'm going to get out another piece. I don't know how far this wants to go. I thought it would have almost gone a little bit quicker already, but now we can hold out because we just took another piece out. Now we officially have a little bit less than a third left now on this play. So let's just let this thing ride high, man. Maybe we do get a 428. Let's just put an offer at 427.60, 60s. 427.60. We'll see if we can get something out up there. Otherwise, what about maybe just even dropping this thing? Yeah, I mean, I don't want to give too much of it back. Let's just wait. We're getting more and more fills, so we've already done quite well on this play so far. So, you know, all good on this side, and a couple good trades over there as well. I don't know if we're looking I'm only looking
Gemini's actually trying to break out.
That's what I was going to say. You're looking at a few more.
So I took Gemini. I like 35 to 36, but I ended up taking the 34 when it held for the first couple of minutes in here, but I'm now out of it. Well, we'll let it play back into that 35, 36 level. I see I'm open in the chat. It is number 2 on the list right now is individual names that everyone's watching. It's above $10, but I wasn't taking a 10 break on Opendoor. I wanted holding above 10 even. So let's see this thing close. I'd rather not take an $11 break either. We talked about this. So any kind of a consolidation or hold of that 10 level before we get to an 11 break. I got rid of my fibs and they keep on coming back. That's so weird. I cannot delete them from this chart. Those are some Fibonacci levels from Friday. The $11 level is the one that matters here. And I did mention Robinhood came very, very close to getting to that 114. It's trying to get there again. The market's at highs. Robinhood is trending down and looking like it wants to break down off these lows, but 114 is the level that has to hold. If 113.7 breaks, I'm actually going short on Robinhood through that low of the day. But the idea is to be long first in front of the 114 level on the hooded one. What else? Always let us know what else you guys are looking at. But for myself, we're still in the dip on IONQ.
Did you talk about Opendoor?
I did mention Opendoor.
Okay, yeah, it's Rip City.
It is absolutely Rip City, but I just want this thing to show buyers holding the $10 level and not one of these fake outs. We saw it do a similar candle. On Friday, it did a candle, exact same thing, like 960, essentially to like 1040, and we played that long, and then that was it. It pulled back. So I want to see it hold some higher lows before I get involved in Opendoor above 10.
Okay, so here comes Apple. There's Opendoor. I was going to talk about Tesla. So you guys, so here we go. It's going to come out on a break of 420.
Oh, no wonder, Google.
Back down to the downside. So we are coming back in again. Right there it goes. So we go ahead. Now we are now out. Well, actually, I didn't punch out of everything, but we did punch out of a big amount there of Tesla as, it's falling back in right now, taking down some of these levels. We do want to try to buy some 416, 417s there. These are the levels that we had written down. So let's try to go a little bit more here on Tesla, but it is coming back in. So it's a good thing to dump that out, man. We saw some problems up there around those levels. So pretty good move. But sorry, Neil, what were you saying there about?
Alphabet is at $250.
Woo!
I'm going to slap the big old fail on this one. There was no dip buy to be had on Alphabet. The only thing you could do is grip it and rip it. There's no catalyst on Alphabet. The only catalyst you need is 52-week high.
Yep.
That's it. It's at highs. It's at fresh highs. Wow. It's amazing. And who needs TikTok? What do you need TikTok for? You got Google Shorts, man. Yeah. My daughter lives on Google Shorts, YouTube. What am I talking? YouTube Shorts. YouTube Shorts. Oh, these are gonna. Okay, never. I am not short IONQ. I just had orders out, so these ones are gonna code as shorts. That's my bad, because I actually had orders out still above 58. So we took a breakout on IONQ. It was a pretty good break. Now we're dipping into that prior kind of prior day high is the best way to put it. It's about $56, so dip in there. I took a couple of legs out in front of the volume weighted average price. Those are not shorts. I am still long the stock, but Google is going absolutely nuts.
Hard.
And look, there wasn't a particular story.
We wanted Apple long.
Yeah, there was no particular story here with Alphabet, and I still am not aware of one. So congratulations to anyone that might have picked this one out of a lineup. Not really sure why it's so strong today, but who cares? Yeah. 52-week highs, the market's busting through. Make sure if you're trading the futures or looking at the futures, you want to look at the December contract now. So for us here, that's the Z contract. It's not going to make too big of a difference. The chart will be the same, just more volume. That changeover has now happened. So here comes Opendoor. This was the problem on Friday. You know, it was the exact same level. It was bouncing from, and then the exact same area of resistance, and there was no follow through. It gave up the move. So looking for this to try to hold on to a higher low here, ideally above $10. I think that's a good psychological level. Ooh, I just missed Tesla there at 17.
Yeah, we got it.
What did it print?
We got 4.7. I'll tell you, we might have
I'm
got
at 38.
I got 4.1790s, but yeah, I was lower as well. So we'll see what winds up happening with Tesla. Maybe just on that note, let's get out of something right now at 4.20 because we just reloaded at 4.18. So we'll put another $2 in the old pocket book right there, and we'll see what's going on. So we do have a new position alert. Let's start hitting that. And again, it's just a sticky note trade one more time. Let's see if it works out, man. I mean, there's Apple. So we liked Apple. I liked Apple long today. It just fell into our lap after making a huge move up. It just that's the problem there, is that I should have been down there and I wasn't. So not focused enough. Really just looking at, I mean, whatever, man. I mean, look what Tesla's doing right now. We just bought. Okay, let me take out another piece. Get up through 420, man. Let me take out a piece right here at 420.30s if we can get it. Just because we had reloaded there at 418. And although I'm obviously obsessed with Tesla trade because it's the biggest trade for me here today, I'm not sure anymore. Like, why is this not ripping to the high side there? We need some people to maybe come in, Neil, and start to buy.
Get in there and buy,
Mortimer. Start doing something. All right, we're going to give some money back though on Apple. We're not even in a unit yet, but we will have two units or so. Or no, I guess 1.5 by the time this comes back in right now. So we're supposed to be getting some more longs right here of Apple. I'm waiting at the quarters. Trying to be patient, man. It's 9:40. We don't have too much to do here other than trade. So we'll wait to see if we can get something at the quarters. Maybe I'm going to go a little bit less than that just because of where Apple is right now. I'm going to go to 236, like 10s, and see if we can average in a little bit to this trade and then get out like 235.75 or so. If we break below the 200 period moving average, let's just throw our hands up and say, Apple, you win right there. No mas right there. Canelo loses on the weekend. So that was exciting there for Crawford
and
shareholders.
Man steps up. I have so much respect when you step up a weight class and handle business. You know, got to respect that. Canelo was a great fighter.
Yeah.
He's whatever. He's
getting older too, but fighting is an interesting.
Father Time is undefeated.
Yes,
I'll leave it at that. So Robinhood did end up dipping into 114.
I know. I don't know.
No, I know, but like Joe was saying Crawford's older, but I also remember when Floyd was older than Manny Pacquiao. But if you kind of looked at their styles and their abilities, it was one person needed youth more than the other, and that's why Floyd waited to fight him. Because he knew his style would last longer.
I didn't stay up that late on Saturday. I watched the beginning of it.
I just watched it in the mornings.
Yeah.
Oh wow, we're not holding this break. The market's holding the breakout.
The market's up, but some of these stocks.
But we're not holding the breakout.
It's Google's really helping.
Yeah, I'm gonna slap the fail on the rest of IONQ. Robinhood remains to be seen. That just broke out the 116. It gets to 116.5, and then now we're right back underneath. So. I took out a couple of thirds there. I want to look for this to hold. If it can't hold 115.8, then I wait until like VWAP or something else. But IONQ, I mean, the breakout was good, but the dip buy, no good. Now I wish those were short sells. They weren't. The initial breakout good on IONQ, but then we load back into it in front of the prior high, and that's starting to break down here. So yeah, the overall market looking very strong. I think led by Alphabet. I can't really see. I don't know what else is going here, but I think we're going to go to Adara. Yeah, there goes Robinhood. So the breakouts.
Yeah.
The breakouts initially on the first move are good. It's just the continuation's what's lacking right now.
Bye.
We're here. As you can see on the screen, I'm seeing that the Chinese delegation is going to be hosting these conference here after the U.S. trade talk in Madrid that'll lead 11 a.m. Eastern. Back to you.
Okay, yeah, back to us here. We are going to be out of Apple, out of Apple and out of Tesla, actually, very, very soon. Tesla's coming right in. Now, we wrote down 416 to 418, but I'm going to stop. There we go. We just stopped out there at 416.50. It's just like, I don't want to turn what was a great trade. We can come over to my chart here on Tesla into a problem. So we just averaged it in. You saw me get some out there at the 200 period. We took one more shot there at 417 and change. So out a little bit there of Tesla. I wonder if maybe that 416 potentially was the bottom, but there goes Apple as well, flushing back down. So I told you we would take a couple units there, stab at these levels. But yeah, the whole market right now holding up, but some of the names that I chose right there heading downside. It looks like that Tesla bottom, we might have just somehow found it, but I'm not sure. Right here, let me see if we can get back in right now. I don't want to miss completely this trade, but it looks like we might have stopped out there near those lows. We'll try to get back in here around 417, which we just did, but waiting for, again, a little bit of a lower price to see if we can't, maybe pick our poison a little bit better here with TSLA. We're long at 4. Let's just learn from our last time there. If we can scalp out $1 here from a little bit, we'll do that. We're long at 417 now because here it comes right back in again into 416. So I thought that 416 could possibly have been some of the lows. So let's see if that is holding out. But right now, not a great look for Tesla, giving it all back if you were long in the pre-market. I mean, that's the idea there. So, break below now, VWAP below. There it is. We get some out at 4. So we got a good little trade potentially happening backside here for Tesla.
Yeah, 17 was the one for me. So we're into it now, and I want VWAP. 420, I think this can go step by step. The market's still pretty strong, everybody. But Tesla, it might just be, remember, on Friday, you had Elon buying his shares. So obviously that's going to be a big deal. But the market looking incredibly strong, at least from what I can see. And if we don't have that extra buying from Elon, you wanted that exuberance to come in and join. It's a trend break, but not getting the follow through. It's Alphabet that was going ham the most. And look at that Christmas tree right back into the volume weighted average price. So that hit 250 and is pulling right back in. Now, there was no particular catalyst that we really had for Alphabet, but it is relatively strong. As the market goes up step by step, I think you want to be a little bit patient with these. You don't want to be chasing tops. Clearly with this V-shape action, and we're looking for Tesla to make its own V-shape. But if it doesn't hold that prior low, I got in at 17 when it held in front. If we make a fresh low, that's a jump out story for sure. We just quickly, Robinhood, that initial break on Robinhood was good. It doesn't end up getting back into the volume weighted average price. This is one I still like. As long as 14 held, which it did, I want to look for the long here with the hooded one. Robinhood, but it's not giving me that volume weighted average price. I might just have to play off the pre-market highs once again. And there goes Tesla. It just made another fresh low.
Yep.
So Tesla, we're able to get some out on the initial push into 18 for $1, but then it just loses the bid. Tesla selling off as the market goes higher. Time to focus back onto Robinhood, as this is at least trying to hold up a little bit. So it seems like a Google party. You guys let us know what else is going. Zhao in the chat just said
Google's breaking lower.
Alibaba. Baba's was on one. I was kind of hoping this would be up. Unfortunately, Alibaba's not really pulling back into that prior close at 155. But this could be a continuation at 55, I'm pretty sure is what I had on the note, and it was at $160. I didn't think that was going to be incredibly likely. But if this continues trending down, you could see that. Why are the Nasdaq's at the highs, and nothing I'm looking at is holding up all that well? It's kind of weird.
The holding up part is the problem.
So why are we at highs?
Yeah, okay, we could check for some names if there's anything that's going that you guys know about here. Let's have a quick little check-in then on what may be holding this thing up. So here we go. Let's just have a quick check-in on the broader markets right here. Well, Google's up 3%. We talked about that a little bit here today. Apple up 0.65. That could be helping. Look at the financials right today. Absolute hot fire, man. I mean, we're long in the Canadian banks, we're long here on JP Morgan, and that's about it. We still have our Goldman Sachs shares, but we're just letting those go. JP Morgan, much bigger position there. So that's going to be good. And we've been talking about JP Morgan for a minute. Consumer durables, I mean, the thing is that the market started pretty hot today, obviously, with a lot of these names, and we're extending out further right now. Is it an Amazon story? Amazon up 1% right now as well. As some of these names the market's extending higher, and Neil's right. Like, we got to find out like what's kind of moving, because I'm sitting here in a Tesla trade that doesn't want to go up. Apple there, Broadcom, negative as well. Cisco, Micron, making moves higher there today. Yeah, nothing that's like standing out too much to me, but is it the ES that's beating up the Nasdaq right now? The Nasdaq is up 0.49, ES 0.4, so they're all kind of cruising a little bit here. Look, danger spots for sure on...
Oracle's trying to go.
Oracle's trying to go. I was going to say a danger for sure here with Tesla, right? I mean, if we lose that 414 area, I'm going to be out. Like, I don't mind dip buying some of these trades. We're definitely been doing that. Let's see if Tesla wants to get back to the upside. Maybe the selling, hopefully, is done on this name, but here it goes. Nice move back in now for TSLA. We're just long at 460. We're long right here. So, yeah, hoping to do a little bit better here on Tesla.
Yeah, Oracle is trying to go. Remember, there was a TikTok news that we had, and then right at the open, Oracle just dropped back like $4 or $5. It's still up 4.5%. It's more of an attempt to go than any kind of fall through. Again, looking for where that strength might be. This seems, it's still set up for a breakout, Oracle.
Opendoor?
The 308, it just hasn't really done it for you yet. You just mentioned the name I was going to go to next. Got to make sure we talk about Oracle. Oracle could go. It's about $3 or $2.50 away from a clean break as the market continues to go higher. Opendoor has now held that $10 level. There's your VWAP hold. There's your hold at 10. Pretty fast reversal on the stock. But I think it's trying to hold on to the $10 level this time. You got $9.90 as a potential support for Opendoor here. So I'm going to take my first salvo on the next available dip into Opendoor. This is definitely different from what we saw on Friday. Putting in some higher lows. Like on Friday, it wasn't really putting in the higher lows. It was breaking through VWAP every single time. Now that you're holding, I'll take my first bounce play on Opendoor. Oracle, we'll see if it makes that breakout. It doesn't seem like it's coming anytime soon, though.
All right, guys. Yeah, welcome. Make sure you guys do hit the like and the subscribe. We've got a big one on our hands right here again. Hopefully we do anyways, as here it goes. Yes, sir. All right, we've almost made the whole day back now. I mean, that took a minute, obviously, because we had to wait for Tesla. But there goes Tesla right now. Now another $3 or $2.50 in the money. I do have an offer at $418.95. Let me just push some. Okay, well, it's going to get to it. I just pushed some out right there in case we don't get up to that level. $418.95. Just ahead of 419. I don't know. I randomly put it there. Let me maybe. I'm going to put a 75. I'm going to cancel that 95 quickly if I can. There it is. So I canceled it. We got out there at 75. Now we're starting to rip back to the upside again. So far, so good. I'm going to get another offer here at 75 again. So right now we're out of 30% of our reload there on Tesla. Still huge on this stock today, man. That's for sure. But we were giving some back on the way back in until eventually we found a long here on Tesla. But it's just bouncing up to the 21 period moving average again. So let's wait and be very, very careful with that. A couple good trades over there on this side, obviously. I've had one miss and one win, basically. I mean, we missed on this Apple right there, and that felt okay. Now we're starting to get going here. All right. So we're not at the day's high again for myself, but we are getting, yes, $5 in the money now on Tesla as the face slapper right here. Let's go through 420 now, Elon. You know you can get this going. Maybe buy another Billy. Why not? Here we go. Up through it now. We're starting to go a little bit higher here on Tesla. So we're making it up pretty much it all back now. But I'm just going to offer out one more piece here because we just bounced off. We'll get another piece out there at $419.50. $4 there. Tesla's going to $450 today. That'd be hilarious, Eduardo. But if it does, then oh boy, on that one, we will be happy campers on this side right now. Neil's long Opendoor. I like that $10 mark. So we can have a go over there and have a quick look at that. But right now it's Tesla, Moon City off that low at Moon City. It's still down on the day from its open. Google was a great call out there off VWAP. The only problem is you had to hold it about 40 or 50 cents against you, which it did hold that 247 area. So let's see if that is a special level there for Google. But we've done real well holding this Tesla. So Eduardo, let's see, man. I have 35% left of all of these dip buys. We only lost once on Tesla. That's right there once it broke 417, and those were off of not too bad hits there. So yeah, we're making it back a little bit, but it's got to break above this 421. So I'm going to put an offer at 420.50, and then hopefully we can get back through VWAP, and that's going to be the key. So 420.50 for me means 420.40. We'll put an offer there and see if we can get another piece out.
Yeah, great look. And Corey Ewan will try the best to answer this question, but I don't think it's as simple as you want to make it here. Thank you for the super chat. Sports betting at all-time high, correct.
Yes.
Football in full swing, absolutely. MLB postseason right around the corner. You betcha. You got college football as well. Where'd it go? There we go. NHL, NBA coming up. Making October a sports month. Why is DraftKings tanking? Sell the news?
Yes.
That's just, and that may be an oversimplification, but these are all things, we know what the schedule looks like for sports. We know going into it. So like anything else, sometimes you just buy into the event and then you sell off. And that's what DraftKings seems like it's going through right now. But lo and behold, you've got a couple of things that could be good, the $40 level in particular, and the 200 period moving average. I think that gives you a great opportunity to buy the dip in a couple of bucks here on DraftKings. It's not always that simple, but it's not as if it's new. We know exactly what the sports schedule looks like. We know when things are going to ramp up. So why wouldn't the market be a little bit forward-looking when it comes to that? That's all. And I'm not saying that's 100% the reason why it's down. It's just that's my 2 cents. All right, Opendoor, do more because someone's selling at 10.20. So it's bouncing off $10 in VWAP, but it's not really following through, up 11%. There was no catalyst on it this morning in particular.
Uber?
No, Opendoor.
No, no, just like
they're just like, yeah, we're not GameStop.
Right.
Eric Jackson
Stuff
saying,
like
okay, that's fine, you're not GameStop. But what you also need is more buyers so you continue to squeeze. Remember on Thursday, I believe it was, Thursday, this hit $11 and then spent all of Friday essentially failing. So I like it above that 10, but if we don't hold on to VWAP, I probably jump out of this. And the good thing about Opendoor, it's closing in on 100 million shares, so you can take multiple stabs at this if you have the ability to. It's going to give you so many entries and exits. That was certainly true on Thursday and Friday. So the first shot's at VWAP. If we lose it, I don't mind jumping out. Header in the chat saying Intel breaking out in the daily. Really? That's pretty cool. That's Intel? Not a stock.
Yahoo!
Not a red candle in sight for Intel. All right, I'm curious as to why this would be going up the way that it is without any kind of a story, but you're right. Not a red candle today and breaking a wedge on the daily. You're 100% right about it technically. I'm just not sure why it's up 4% specifically for Intel. Nvidia is down a point. AMD's doing some things. Intel looks like it's the strongest chip name out there. You don't say that too often.
No, you don't.
It looks like you got some news on Intel that's already expected. They announced that their Altura sale has been wrapped up in their business. They also said here that apparently they're lowering their adjusted or expected adjusted operating expenses there after that deconstruction or deconsolidation. Back to you.
Okay.
All right, so yeah, there's always some kind of news in the chip space. It seems like every day anyways. We've already done this. We've already gone over this. You got to get into the chat. You got to hit $, and then now I can hear you, Adara, but we couldn't for a minute there, but you're back live there. Adara took Brendan's mic. No. Adara's mic is fine. We're just going through some things here as we've switched desks. So everybody, we can still hear Adara in our ear, as can the whole show. Okay, so right now, this is what we're doing. NVIDIA, GME, so that's going to be Gemini. We can go over and look at them again. Most recent IPO, Intel. You got to get into here and push $ Rigetti just like that, and a vote will come in here for Rigetti, and then we'll be able. Alibaba, okay. And we'll be able to, talk about these different names. So up 114% today is NAOV. Wolf is at 15% there. Oracle up 4. BBAI up 2. We love BBAI. Floss that one off a little bit right there. Opendoor up again, another 11%. Congratulations. We talked about how important that $10 level might be for them. It looks like it is. And Tesla, again, a nice little name for them. A gain for them today, up 418 right there, up 5 and a bit. SOFI SOFI, Google, CoreWeave, Intel, and Gemini. But that's nice. I'm actually going to reset this. Let's give it a fresh start. So right now, get into the chat. Show us which names you want to vote for, like right now, and then Neil and I will have a good look, because the first half hour is one thing. Now let's see what stocks are moving around again right now that you want to watch out for. So this will populate in a couple seconds, and it'll give Neil and I a better idea of some of the names that you want us to look at. And maybe it's the Nvidia day today. I don't know. Just for the downside, I mean, the market has been up here straight up all morning. And it's funny because Tesla doesn't want to go up. Nvidia doesn't really want to go up. Google was the one that had the huge move there. AMD was actually holding fort early. And we looked at it and Neil and I were like, wow, AMD's up 1.5%. Nvidia was down 1.5%. Now that falls and follows suit right here for AMD. The thing about AMD is, and maybe I got to do a better way of finding this for you guys, but if you're going to look over here and you're going to be a PE guy, right? So you're going to look at the price earnings multiples. Look at AMD right here, right? Advanced Micro Devices. Current PE forward 26. We'll just look at forward PEs, okay? So forward PE 26 there. Nvidia's forward PE 39. So there is something to be said potentially for someone picking up some AMD on a better forward PE, meaning that if everything goes according to plan, you know, Nvidia versus AMD, Nvidia might be, now I prefer AMD, I think we both do, or Nvidia, sorry, but I don't think Neil and I would argue that, you know, there is a runway for AMD to sort of get back up. Like right now, Nvidia's hovering near these highs. This is an AMD chart. I think Nvidia can get up and break. And AMD has what, a 220, 240 peg to it up here somewhere, that's their high. So it can maybe get back again. So we'll see. There it is up there, 230. I don't know if we get there, but that high is really interesting to me. I wonder if we go back and test that for AMD. So I don't know. You know, gun to head, I think we're still Nvidia, right?
I'm still taking Nvidia. There's no way I want an AMD when you're paying more for it. It just doesn't make a lot of sense. Nvidia, look, somebody at the end of the day, Nvidia just cannot seem to break out. But that's not normal. It's not new. It is normal, is what I should say. It's not necessarily new. Like it's been running into all kinds of all-time high resistance and some sellers in swaths, like sellers in swaths. When eventually it breaks out, it looks fine. So I think as long as it's holding the 50 period, which it is right now, and I think that's constructive. I know it's going to be boring until it breaks 185, but I just can't get on board the AMD train when it's a very similar look and one of them is more expensive than the other. It just, if it was cheap, if you were getting a discount relative to Nvidia, then I'd be all aboard that. Unfortunately, Opendoor can't hold 10. So above 10, I like it. Beneath 10, I don't. I'm going to try and keep it as simple as that, because outside of that 10 level, there's 920, which is 8% down, and there's 880. Those are the levels I like on it. So we can drop 8%, which would be giving up the gains, and then I would like the long in and around the 920 level. So I'm not holding $10 all the way to 920. I'm getting out at like 998 or whatever the heck I just got filled at. I think it was 998, to be honest with you. So if we hold VWAP, great, but it doesn't look like we're doing so. IONQ just made another IONQ. I'm doing that for myself because I typed it wrong. Just made another breakout. So the initial break, good. The dip didn't work at 56 for me, but then right after we got out, it reaffirmed holding that prior low. As long as it's holding the prior low, this is a 52-week, all-time high break on IONQ for some continuation. As long as it's holding that, I want to look for longs. The pre-market top is going to be the level I want to play into. That's 57.80. So I want to be long back into 57.80 and then try again at the volume weighted average price as well. And Bobby Axelrod, you are correct. Opendoor is SSR today. I guess I forgot that.
Oh yeah.
It's another reason that SSR just simply means that it's the uptick rule in effect. It's not that you can't short the stock on Opendoor. It's just that there has to be the last print and uptick for you to short it by hitting the bid. That's all. So it helps moves to the upside to some extent, but it's not like some automatic, hey, the stock's going to go 1,000,000% to the upside just because it's SSR.
Neil likes to use the million percentage. I think that's one of your things for dramatic effect right there. Yeah, no, just, I mean, all kidding aside, you know, here as, you know, at Real Trading, it's very important that we talk about this for any kind of a prop floor, right? You see Neil flipping IONQ, Opendoor, like a lot of it is involved with making sure. Are you just going to keep it on this photo, or do you want to go to the two of us?
You guys can back and forth. You guys can talk together.
Okay, go to the. Okay, good. So I don't know exactly what we can and can't do. They are testing things right now.
Okay.
Don't throw. Okay, all right. So we just
You're stuck with us.
Stuck with Neil now. Okay, so we'll just do the show as normal. I didn't know if it was just on my ugly bug or not, but yeah, I was just going to say, like, flip over to what stocks are popping, right? I mean, you know, right into here, I have an alert screener that we use from eSignal that gives me different names. Like, there's Marvell, so just popping up so we can have a quick little look to see what Marvell is doing. And it's either, you know, different breaks, moving average breaks. This is probably a day high note that just came up to me there. Qualcomm moving, SMCI. Let's look at SMR, made a move there at 10:01, just crossed over a key level there. Yeah, so there it is, 10:01 day low break. So, you know, there are things here that we try to watch. There's Palantir. Let's see what that's doing again. So I just want to say all of this. That's probably a VWAP break right there. And I have notes where it will say what's happening. Moving average break, VWAP breaks, things like that. So very important to check out different scanners and then different opportunities. And then we also do have something called the hot list. What's up, Randy? I would absolutely kill for a coffee.
No way.
Thank you. Right there. Captain Randy over here. There's lots of work happening around here right now, Neil, because they're taking out the old stage that we used to sit on.
That's going to be wild when they do it.
And that's going to be, yeah, like hopefully not too loud or anything like that, but we're going to try to get a lot of that work done off air. And if you do hear
it'll be
something in the background,
it's unavoidable.
Please,
it has to be nuts.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so here's a name that's going nuts right now. Google, and I'll go over to Google in a minute. Just we haven't talked about Warner Brothers today. Again, there's that deal going through with Warner Brothers, so we could definitely have a quick little look over here.
I don't think there's an official, I haven't heard anything official on it yet. So.
Okay.
Like in terms of, I've heard speculation of above $20 on WBD, but absolutely nothing official on that. But the Ellison, it's Ellison going to be buying it, so they can afford it. But another high is getting made on. Just an Alphabet here, another all-time high. Boom. That's all I wanted to get to. Google looks like it's the strongest of the bunch here today. Back through 251. I'm happy because, you know, when you own Google shares, you're happy with it, but we're not happy that we're not long the stock. There was no particular catalyst. I can't give you a reason why it's going up. We'll keep our ear to the ground for sure. The only thing I'm in is IONQ, but I did want to circle back to the IPO Gemini. Took one shot at it early. It's back to trending to the downside on Gemini. And unfortunately, this has been the normal case for these IPOs. Day one, you're good for a minute, and then you're not good after the fact. So I want to look for every chance I can to be in the short. It's going to try to flat bottom break here. There's a triple bottom today, and then this is also where it held about 32.80 in the afternoon on Friday. So if it breaks that low of the day, I'm looking short. Otherwise, I wait for it to make a pop into prior resistance. And I really hope that StubHub breaks that trend on Wednesday. But you've seen it. You long for a couple of minutes, and then it's a short after the fact. And then for the next couple of days, it looks like it's a short too, at least for Gemini. We saw this with Bullish. We saw this with Klarna. Just seems like there's not that much continuation, despite the market being strong for these IPOs.
Yeah, I'm looking for some more continuation here in Tesla. All we've been really doing is just sort of piecing this thing out on the way back up. And then what's going to wind up happening is that I'm not going to have any shares left. So I don't have that many shares left right now as it continues to go up. So I have about only 20% left of my initial these longs into here. You know, we took a big trade early on that 421 break. That was basically, we were really cruising there. We were able to get out. And then we held about 20 to 25% on the way back down. And then we averaged in and took that trade out right there. So we gave back about a third or so. Bang! That's what we're talking about, baby. Let's props it up. Everybody out there that's trading this Tesla today. Oh boy, there we go. Obi, this is $6 now as it continues to go higher. Hopefully Obi's got this as well. Nice move higher here for Tesla off of some consolidation down here in between 415, 416, 417. And again, like these are the exact, these are the exact levels. Like, okay, so here's Tesla today. 415 to 418. We just got 422s. We just got 422s right now, $7 upside. And all we had written down was the same thing that we had been talking to you all day, 416 to 418 longs. So the fact that it came back into 415, and my stop is right here, man. 414 breakout. We are out of this trade. So to risk about $1 on this last piece to make 7, we'll take that, man. And there it goes. Nice upside play there for Tesla, and just creating, again, good action there on that post. We do have a post here of Apple. Wow, that was a good out, man. Good thing we were able to do that up there. I just put it at VWAP, by the way, on thank you.
Oh, thanks,
Randy, for that one. Apple was the one that was a mistake. And again, we'll sit here and talk about our good trades and our bad trades. I think that's obviously the unique thing. And I can tell you, man, we are hella green here today. But definitely understanding that this was a call right there, man. 436 and change. We talked about Apple 236, 235 to 236. There was the drop through. We didn't even hold this all the way down to 235, but we're at there now. So maybe this is a long look here for Apple. Let's test it out. But right now we are crushing it with this trade on our good friend today. And I came in and was like, today's a Tesla day, and it is a monster right there. We have 4 times now our daily goal on Tesla. And just overall pretty happy with this performance as we extend further here on TSLA.
Yeah, Tesla going to the upside. Market just made another fresh high. We just took the top, just came in there on IONQ potentially. We'll see. The initial breakout stalled at 58.5. We grabbed the 58s again the second time through, and we are still stalling at 58. I'm going to grab out at 59 even, and then play. Again, just stairs to the upside. Every time it consolidates, I want to take a shot at it. Gemini did break its low, so it looks like it's not the all-time low. It was actually lower than this on Friday, but it broke that 32.8 level, got the short, took some out in front of the $0.50. If we end up breaking Friday's lows, I think you can see that 31 even for Gemini. But watch out below. The market's at tops, and Nvidia, that just lost trend.
Oh no.
So there was a negative story here for Nvidia, multiple negative stories, I should say. The first one being specifically antitrust investigation from China or by China on Nvidia, and then you also had this anti-dumping accusations. I think the dumping thing and even maybe the antitrust probably more to do with posturing and U.S.-China trade negotiations than anything else, but it doesn't matter. Nvidia down 1.6% on this as the market looks, I'd say, relatively strong here today. We're up 0.5 point and we're trending higher. Nvidia just cannot seem to get off the schneid. What can, or at least what was, I should say, until I just looked at it now, is CoreWeave. CoreWeave had news that they were, again, extending a deal with Nvidia. That's a positive, but it's starting to give back as well. So the chips, not nearly as strong as they were into this market on a Monday. Unfortunately here for CoreWeave, giving up half of the gains. This was up at 125 at one point, looking like it was going to break out. That Nvidia deal does not seem like it's enough to keep them afloat.
Oh, yeah, that was a good call back there for that. All right, so we're just back into Apple. I'm going to give this to 235 break. So small amount, man. I mean, we've only traded these 2 names. Yo, what's up to WCM? Good tunes. It's almost like we've got some good tunes in our ear here today, but those good tunes are just the sweet songs of Tesla. But what's up to GME today? Can we get a gap fill on GME? Remember, it doesn't take many trades. It just takes good trades. I mean, that's what we talked about that with Brian Shannon. We talked about that with Michael Noss. And all good traders will focus on the trades that they want to make, right? So WCM, good lookout here for you on GME. So let's have a good look here. Nice move up 2.5% there today. What did you want to talk about? Does it fill the gap? So let me just have a quick look. Thank you, WCM, of course, for your super chat there, and it definitely gets our attention. So, all right, what gap are you talking about, man? This gap, yeah, I mean, looks like we just filled it right now, so congratulations. I think so. If you're talking about that, there's the move down into 22. We were really supported by 22. We came out with, they came out with great earnings last week that beat on the top and the bottom line, and they gave, I believe, that warrant that's good to go at 26.30 or something like that. So, yeah, I think GameStop has the juice to it. It's only 2 million shares, which I don't think is a negative thing. It's just, you can get a lot more going on GameStop. Breaking that high, I like it. It held the 50-period moving average here on the 5-minute chart. It's well above the 200-period moving average. VWAP turning up, 200-period turning up. Everything right now going going upside right now and just absolutely blasting. It's Apple's not doing it, Google is doing it, and it's just a small winner here, but we do have $7 on this Tesla trade. Wish we always had a little bit more shares, but we're doing the best that we can by getting in and out of those names. I am going to check out the board for us in a second. Palantir, again, not often a sleepy stock, but today it seems like it. It had that move up to 171, now falling back in just a little bit. Look at the market turning around. Neil mentioned and highlighted Nvidia, maybe.
It's because of Nvidia, maybe.
Yeah, so it does have to, I mean, there we go. What just happened there? Oh, okay, we got more Apple. So if Apple and the market winds up losing it, maybe I'll have to go over and start to look at some TQQ trades or something like that. But right now, Apple, we just got our last fill. I'm not, shout out to my good friend Phil. By the way, I met another Phil. On our team. So every Phil I know, including well, you know a Phil that I really appreciate. So yeah, there's a couple Phils that I know right now. All seem to be good guys. So shout out to everybody named Phil there in the chat. But
and my pops goes by Phil, isn't it?
That's what I was going to say.
But his name's not Phil. My dad's but he goes by Phil.
Okay, yeah. So okay, there we go. So that was the other Phil that I knew. I didn't know if Neil.
No, my half brother is Phil.
So I think I know four then. Four good Phils. And we like getting good Phils on the show. That's the one thing for sure.
Spelled with an F.
There it is. What's up, Sebastian? Yeah, the Phils we want on the show are spelled with an F. Okay, so just quickly, and then I'm going to throw it back to Neil. Apple, if we can get something here, 235.55, something like that, let's just piece off of 10%, honestly, and then we'll work on the rest of it after, because Apple has been, for me, the one losing trade. We're going to go 1-1 today, but net-wise, we're up 4x on Tesla that we've lost on Apple. So that was good, and that was in danger at one point. Like if Tesla lost that bid, it was a problem, right? And not a problem for our net, but just a problem for Tesla. We've done really good being pretty responsible with our share size and everything. So yeah, so far so good, man. We can check back on SMR. You're on IONQ.
SMR, I haven't looked at the nuclear names, although I do know there was something on GE Vernova.
Yeah, there was an upgrade.
Yeah, that's what it was. It was just an upgrade.
Yeah.
It wasn't a huge story on GE Vernova. No, but the amount of power needed is going to be ridiculous for these data centers. And as long as that story holds, I think those are going to be quality names. I didn't like necessarily what I saw with SMR last week, but certainly worth a look today. We had a couple of dip buys here in INQ. I feel like this is the one, if it holds, that I'm going to be the most involved in. Because I want to stick with it.
Got more Tesla there.
But it's either prior highs, the initial breakout good, then it manages to hold on to 56, kind of the last time without me, so I don't want to miss my shot if it holds that prior bar, that pre-market low. If it breaks down underneath, I can get out, but I do want to be able to jump back in if it does this kind of a move again, where you have that reversal. Now for myself, I'll get out of a losing trade and try to get back in if I find the same level hold, or I wait for the next level down, which I think is going to be that 56 level here again. So IONQ, and if you're wondering, 52-week high breakout. Friday, this and Rigetti were both relatively strong. IONQ's up 4 points in here today. Rigetti's flat, so IONQ just looked a little stronger to me, and it was the one making the high break. That's why we like it a little bit better. So I like this one, but I want to wait for it to get either hold VWAP or show me that prior high is going to be any good, because the only real clean trade was the initial break on that one. All right, that's INQ, but I did want to jump over. You mentioned SMR and GE Vernova. SMR, unfortunately, gave up the entire move this morning. So yeah, this seemed like it was something that was going to get going. Certainly has been holding some prior lows, but this price action has not been very constructive. What I don't like about this is it's a growth name in nuclear, which is supposed to be the momentum flyer. And when GE Vernova and some of the Vistras started to get going again, it didn't participate. You can see GE Vernova kind of regain the 50 period, go high, continue to go higher. Got an upgrade today, so it's resisting a pullback. But you're not seeing any follow through with SMR. So you have to keep this in mind with SMR and Oklo and NNE. These are companies that fundamentally can't justify their valuations, traditionally. They're pure growth plays. So when they're not in favor, they're just not in favor. And it's not really holding those bids the way that it used to. You're just much safer playing nuclear with like GE Vernova, Vistra, or Constellation at this particular point. So, unfortunately, this one not really holding up all that well. Sorry, SMR not holding up that well. GE Vernova is.
Yeah, we're doing pretty well trying to hold up a little bit here in the market. But I just wanted to go over a couple things because I'll be getting out of some Tesla. It doesn't, I still want to hold it to see if we can really do something cool. But, these 422 to 423 areas, now it's looking like that's an area. So even though it's only 10 minutes here, these are areas of getting out. So that's 415 out, 422 and 423. So huge move there, obviously, as we really respect Tesla today. We did get out some more Apple, and again, I don't know if I'm going to get back to green if I keep scalping like this. So on Apple, but I'm still waiting for that 235.54. But we just got a 40.45 right there out, which is not that great. That was only about 18 or so cents. But let's just see if it wants to take those levels. We'll take a piece out here, like I said, in the 50s, and then if it goes, fine. Okay, so let's figure it out now as we go up. Yeah, that is about right here. What's up to chase the packs right here? Look, man, some defaults are 10 shares. Someone asked us in the chat, like, why don't we show our P&L? And that's the point. It's like, what if this comment is 10 shares or 100 shares or 1,000 shares? At the end of the day, Judge Neil and I, for the trades that we're in and that we make and for the decisions that we make, the amount of shares is completely up to you. It doesn't matter. You just got to judge whatever you want to do on that one. And we do have, obviously, different tranches that I take out here. And yeah, like you're mentioning, I don't have very many shares left for sure. And there's the outs, right? All I can sort of do is say, like, these are where I'm looking to get out, so I'm taking them out. And I'm trying to tell you what kind of percentages I have left of my trades. And right now, we have under 10% left of this trade. I only had 20% up here, and we just got a whole bunch out. So you are right. I am definitely piecing these out. And as I said, man, instead of wondering about P&L, are we green or red? Are you guys green or red? Like, I don't really care if Obi tells me I made $1,000 today or I lost $1,000. It's like, what were your decisions, right? That's what we can work on, and that's how you can get better as a trader, right? As an individual, you got to worry about your individual trades and what your decision making is, and then you start ramping up the shares from there. We sort of talked about the difference there on IPO trades and things like that. If I get a good feeling about an IPO trade, I may go heavier than Neil. He may have a different feel, or vice versa. He may go heavier on a trade because he likes the setup better than me, or there's 5,000 stocks in the market now. So to look at them all, you can't have the same opinion as everybody, and you can't trade the same. So, we don't mind copying some of the positions that we're in, but, make the decisions yourself and use the proper risk management. And here's SMR, just for an example. Like I have written on here, and I'm not shying away from this. I wrote on the sticky note right now, SMR $38 long. Well, it never got to $38. The market opened up and 38 long. If I wrote down 38 short, we may have this trade or we wouldn't. Either way, there's the drop down in. And now we can say to ourselves, maybe this is a long now. Have the ability to regroup your trades, get out of them when they're wrong, like here, and then reassess at certain levels. So we had written down Apple 235, and we looked at Apple 235 right into here. So there was some good levels in this name, but obviously when the market opens up and Apple's up 1.8%, now it's only up 0.5%, that's a different story. So we're gonna tap out of that one. And yeah, I am not up. I'm up less now than I was at 932. So we've just given back money in the last 50 minutes, and that's because we had Apple lose and this fell off the highs. So here comes Tesla right back in. Will we reload it? Yeah, I'm going to reload this name down here around 415 if it comes back into those areas and put on a little bit more shares and still use 414 as my out. So that's what I'm kind of dealing with right now, and you're in Gemini and IONQ. So then again, here we go. Completely different looks, right?
Yeah, and I thought I heard, are we back? Are we able to do throws again?
I don't.
Okay. I think we're going to go to Darren in a quick little second, but I did want to just quickly update. Look, I'm back into the Gemini short, but I mentioned that one already. Robinhood is about to, Robinhood's pretty much right there. 113.70 is the low from the 9th on Robinhood. So it's support until it actually breaks it. For now, I'm going to look for that dip buy. We did like this one off of this level, but it has to hold. If it holds 113, it's 113.70 I have as a low, but it's the same area here. It's breaking down underneath 114. If it can close holding that bid and come back out and take the 114.20, then I'm going to look for the long retracement there
goes.
On Robinhood, on the hooded one. I do believe, was that for Adair?
There goes Apple.
Yes. Let's go to Adair.
Look at that.
Small cap time. Let's take a look at Wolfspeed WOLF. No news on this one. About a 28% short float, $400 million market cap. Then we have NAOV, Nanovibronics. This one announcing that one of its subsidiaries received a U.S. patent. NAOV on watch. Last but not least, RZLV, Resolve AI. This is the largest market cap of all three, just below $2 billion. This one making an announcement about how they're set to power this next-gen retail payments as we've got Tether unveiling USAT stablecoins because of the Genius Act. So good look here for RZLV. And quite a few of these small caps. So a lot of the ones we had pre-market have entirely given up the move. Back to you.
Yeah, it hasn't really been much of a small capper market today. It's weird because this has been a pretty good small cap, I guess, run recently. Opendoor can't seem to hold on the way it was before, and I get it. This isn't technically a small cap because its valuation is well over that $2 billion marker. But guess what it's doing? It's right back around that $10 level. So this is where we like Opendoor. The only area I traded, again, I like Opendoor at 10 and above, or at $8 or $9.20 and $8.80. So $9.20 hasn't come close. $10 it held once and couldn't get past $10.20. So if it can close here, kind of holding that 10 level, then we jump back into it. Like, try to be pretty specific about where we like it. All right, Jemmy, I guess you're going to hold. It's going to hold Friday's low for now. So we just bounced off of Friday's low.
Yeah, let's go.
That's 31 and a Gemini, that is, everybody. Just bounced off 31.50. If this holds, it's probably going to come all the way back to VWAP, so I'm not going to let that get to VWAP. If it breaks down, I think you see $30. But if it gets back above the quarter mark, I'll wait for it to get back into the volume weighted average price. So it's holding its quote-unquote all-time low because all-time low is Friday's low. And if it can't break Friday's low, then I'll jump out of that trade and just take it for the scalp trade it is and move on back into open, which I'm hoping... I'm not going to get in unless I see some buyers hold this level again, the $10 level. So a bit of a wall here on Opendoor, 10% up, no particular catalyst. I mean, Eric Johnson tweeted some stuff, I suppose, but that's more or less the extent of the story here. And saying it's not GameStop. It does way more in options. I'm like, well, that's nice. You need to break 10 to get a squeeze. Really, you need to break 11 for something special to happen this week, I think. Otherwise... you're just making lower highs on Opendoor, which it's done before, everybody. Volume good, but not great. At this time on Friday, I think we'd done well over 200 million shares at least. And certainly on Thursday when it did 1 billion shares, much more. It's at 125. So lower volume than normal, but still pretty good.
I appreciate Neil leaving this one to me here because thank you so much for the super chat. And I'm going to show you an example of doing this again. Thank you so much, Chase the Packs. I mean, you take the profit where profit is good. You don't get greedy. You partial on the way out. It's legit perfect trading. That's not, I mean, no trading is perfect, but I do appreciate you. And look what's happening again. Just as that super chat comes in, Neil, it's another dollar winner right there on Apple. So here goes Apple again. And just as you mentioned there, Chase the picks or the packs, this is exactly what we did again. So here goes Apple on the way up. We bought the 235 level. Again, both of us have our notes out. You can go to either one of our Twitters, find out our notes. But there it is right here again. Apple, this long level between 235, it came into the low. We took it, and there it goes, man. We are now cruising almost near the high of the day again for ourselves. If we made a little bit back there on Apple. Now, why am I not getting out? Oh, I have an offer at 30. All right, let's take an offer now. There it is. We take a 26. We also have an offer at 30. And just for you home players there today, or anybody that wants to follow these, they're obviously there. It's free on Instagram and on Twitter, but we also do have right now Apple at VWAP. So I'm going to take a couple more pieces out right there and now watch it. And we still have 60% left. So those of you asking about like what the share size or this or that, 60% left on this Apple trade. So again, bought it there, lots of opportunities for all of you to hop on, right? And again, you know, green, so good there. Take it to the moon, says Los Polos Hermanos. I hope they do take this thing to the moon, but no can tell at any time. But right now, what's not going to the moon, it's going right down right now is Tesla. So we'll put on another piece right now. I have a third of what we had on our first breakout. So if this drops below, we will tap out of this name as it's looking to break below 414. That's where my stop is. It has always been there. So again, if it's going to hit, it's going to hit. We are out. Our hands are off. It'll be about $1.30 worth of a hit if that is what winds up happening. So right now on the retrace back up. Now let's go back over to chase the packs. And I do want to again say thank you so much. You're getting a lot of likes on this. Thank you so much for the $200, man. We are chasing the packs. And there it is. There's another dip buy. We just bought 415.30s. And there it is, man. Now another 60 cents here upside for Tesla. So let's just start taking them out again. And there it goes, man. We are now back in.
Another one.
And it's another one for you. So another banger right over here for Tesla. So it's just what a good day so far, man. We are over $2 in the money on these two trades. And there it is. There's an official dollar club off of that reload there. So appreciate all the talks today. That's Apple, sorry, let me go over to Tesla. There it is right there. We just got out at 416. So far so good on that reload. Let's go back up to the moon and see where we can go. We're at 416.34s and there it is, man. Oh boy. Neil, this has been another fantastic day. We're now back to where we were at 932. So that's good. We have 3 times our goal. And again, everyone's going to be completely different. It's a very green day. And shout out to Green Day. That was a big hit. I'm the DJ for my daughter's thing. They like Green Day songs, the parents. So
Classic.
puts them back
Green
to the
Day.
old school.
I like old school. We had this conversation before. I actually think when you're doing the walk-up song for the kids, it's about the parents that are watching it.
Like it, yeah.
Because you want the crowd to be into it. That's all that really matters. Like, it's fun.
Yeah.
If the kids, the parents don't really get into it, it's not exactly the same thing. We're back in Open. Open broke 10 again.
Oosh.
So it's that simple. It broke 10, 10.10 and 10.20. I mean, if it's a $10 stock and it resists $10.10 and it resists $10.20 and it resists $10.30, I think that's obvious places to be able to get some profit. But Robinhood is at that low. It has not broken, or it has not, well, I shouldn't say it has not broken, it has not closed underneath that 113.7. So it's still very much, like, to me, it's support till it's not. That was my first look. Until we actually break down underneath that low from the 9th, then I want to play for the reversion. So this is the trend down since it lost VWAP. As long as it can close above, one close underneath 113.7, and I'm not really chasing this trend break, but it hasn't done so yet. I want to see if we can't get this entry. Once it closes above here, we're going to grab that long here in Robinhood. And remember, the market, the market's at the high, effectively at the high of 0.6%. Robinhood's down a point. Robinhood is relatively weak here. So if it does give me that entry long, I'm thinking VWAP. On a breakout trade, I would have been willing to hold that last piece and buy dips higher and all that good stuff. But if we break out this 414 level, I'm thinking to the volume weighted average price because I know this stock is against the grain, and it's been selling off after making all-time highs the last little while here. So it doesn't look like this one wants to break the trend, which means I'm not going to get into it. If it cannot break this little downtrend, I don't want to be fighting this stock here in Robinhood. Doesn't look too good. I know a lot of people have mentioned ORCL. What was it? It was TikTok was the only reason the stock was up.
Yeah.
Or at least the reason we believe. I shouldn't say the only because they just had blowout earnings, and some of this could be a relief rally after all the selling off. But even this is starting to lose a bit here. So not looking nearly as good as it was before. Super strong on the TikTok news. Now filling in a bit of the gap. It's about 298, 299. That was that lower range high. It could hold on to this and still be relatively bullish. So yeah, no breakout yet on Robinhood. It's just going to be Opendoor holding this $10 level for now. If it gets up to 1040, I want to have most of it out because it just keeps selling off at that price. It sold off at that price on a similar long on Friday. It's sold off at that price this morning. So until it breaks, I want to be limiting, get in at 10, scalp to 30s and 40s. Let's go to Adair.
Meta, META, Oracle potentially in watch here as well. We do have comments coming from U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent saying that the next U.S.-China talks could result in another 90-day rollover of the tariff truce and will likely happen before the November 10th deadline, but also talking about, I guess, TikTok here. They're saying that I guess TikTok shutdown threat pushed China towards its divestiture framework. And again, they're likely to have these talks before that November 10th deadline for the 90-day tariff truce. So META and the market overall on watch. Back to you.
Yeah, thanks, Adara, for that. We're going to look at Meta for sure. I mean, good stock there. Yeah, go. Let's go.
Vic, I closed the Gemini short because it bounced off the all-time. We'll get Friday's low. Like once it held that low, I'm like, okay, I'll trail out of it and look for re-entry at the time at the volume-weighted average price, but just look for the next opportunity to get the short. Like it was trend down almost the entirety of the day on Friday, but it's not without some holds and some bounces. So if it bounces off the low, I want to see if I can't jump right back into it. So I'll wait for it to get to 33 change or so, and then try to jump into the trade. That's all. I'm pretty sure I said that I was going to trail it if it held its all-time low, which is Friday's
headphones over
there. Yeah, I'm hearing. I just heard something. What was that?
I don't know. I think Obi's headphones or something.
Oh, I thought it was. It sounded like. Anyways, it sounded like the radio.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I think he's listening to something. A little bit annoying. We'll get him to turn that off in a couple seconds when he comes back. You are going to have Joe and Obi. Joby. Actually, let's look at Joby right now, see if that's doing anything. You're going to have Joe and Obi coming through.
I think it was Archer.
It's just a matter of time here and a matter of seconds. Actually,
Archer was moving, maybe.
Archer was moving around. Okay, we'll have a look at that. Yeah, there goes Joby up 4.5%. They got some sort of a defense deal last week, and they had some deals with Uber there, talking about taking helicopters. So, we can all take helicopters into work and whatnot. But yeah, that's an interesting one there, Joby. Tesla's still doing Tesla-like things. Let's have a quick look to see what everybody else wants to look at here today. We will go over and look at the broader market in a second, but it looks like Tesla right now with over 53 votes from our subscribers right there. We've been getting in and out of Tesla all day, and it's going to be infinitely my best stock. Obviously, you've only traded two names. And Apple, by the way, Apple did not break that 236.30, so we were getting some more and more out of Apple. We only have 35% left now of that one. RZLV. Maybe we'll have a quick look at that. I haven't looked at that yet today. Yeah, I don't even know what's going on with that. SOFI, again, looking to break through. I think it's at $28 top. Warner Brothers, again, with some deals, last week, Paramount and whatnot. We could see if that's going to go through. $20 is what they're looking at over there. Gemini, Neil just sort of talked about that. SoundHound, again. SoundHound and Big Bear AI, just two AI plays that there's a lot of traders looking at these days. So maybe one of those gets going in your account there at some point. But if you do want to be part of this and add your name, stamp your name basically by putting a symbol in, you got to go over to the chat, put in what you like, $, and then the stock, and we will have a quick
RZLV.
look at it. Yeah, RZLV. So let's have a quick look to see what that is. Resolve. Oh, another AI name. Resolve AI.
6%.
Yeah, but look at this name though over the last couple of days. It's been hot fire. So this was $3, breaking through to those levels. Oh yeah, I remember looking at this on Friday because we had talked about some of these highs coming into play, and it looks like they're coming in right now. So $8.50. We'd already seen this back in October, so it's been a year. It's now traveled completely, going down to 70 or $1.20, it looks like. Right back now up to $8 again, which we've seen before, and then the drop down. So it looks like this name IPO'd with some great coverage to the upside there, $12. Actually, unlike many names, it actually held out pretty good there, Neil. It looks like on the top side, and then fell back in after about a week or so, made a bottom of about $1, and now Resolve, RZLV, nice move higher there into those levels. So just on a chart now, you're at VWAP. So yeah, you got to like VWAP. We like VWAP around here, and so does Resolve, it looks like.
You know what else we like?
Yeah,
the 50-period moving average on a daily.
Yes.
So shout out to Yala Studios, and Vinu will get to, I haven't looked at any LV, that's for sure, but ZH, it's a day trading channel, but what's your take? Thinking of going long. I'm going to make the probably not ridiculous assumption that you're looking at a breakout on ZH, like a swing breakout maybe. Again, I don't really know what your plan of action is. I can tell you, I like this stock from a setup at the $4 level was clearly pretty good, and the way that it held the 50 period also pretty good. Now it's got a trend line, which my tool is not on. It's got a nice little trend going. that seems like it could be good for a breakout trade. Like if it breaks out here and then just kind of give it back to underneath the trend line, I prefer the 50-period moving average because it just held. And without I don't like breakouts without catalysts. There's no volume on the stock, 150,000 shares, right? So a breakout trade doesn't make sense to me. Buying off a support and then something happens and you happen to be in it off support makes way more sense to myself. NAOV was the other one. Thank you very much, Vinu Gunda, for the super chat. It seems to have stabilized. You are long and you want to see a take. I don't know when it, like, okay, if it's stabilized here, I'm not sure, like, where was it, like, unstable? Like, it's trading exactly how it was in the pre-market, so I don't know that it's any less volatile even in here than it was at any point. It has halted a couple of times today, so it has high halt risk on NAOV. It's about 160%. We know these things can go from 160 to screwing shorts to be like 250. That's happened before. I just don't know that it's any more stable. That's not the word I would use to describe it. It has only halted a couple times, which I suppose is good, but I don't chase any of these off the highs. Like to me, if you get these off like VWAP, and you can grab like an early halt off VWAP where you're long off this, and then maybe you're giving it back underneath here. But off the top, I don't like taking any breakout trades on these like low float, 100 to 300% type stocks. Buying the dip has been much, much better, at least in my opinion. Right. But shout out to you, Vrinu, on that NAOV. It is a small capper that is at least giving you something.
Yeah, good. I hope you guys are making a little bit of money on that when we do get a super chat. Donnie Zimbabwe is back. He wants to let everybody know. Love the Green Day vibes. Yeah, same. Wow, today's been a good one. Y'all can wake me up when September ends. This man is up $7,300 on Tesla calls. I hope you're able to get out. You don't have too much diamond hands on those ones because Tesla is, well, first of all, we're still running Tesla today. I wish I was up $7,400 today on Tesla. I am not. Donnie Z is back, man. It's been 2 years of you guys in my headphones at work each day. Can't wait for many more. We want to say thank you so much to that. And that is, oh my God, and that is awesome. And that is a bang. So thank you so much to Donnie Zimbabwe, man. Well, I like that one. And love to see it, brother. Oops, BRTEHER. You know, really glad that you're able to make that kind of money, right? I mean, that's those are big, big money days. That is for sure. So, all right. Yeah, I mean, again, if you're on this Tesla calls, I've been buying this area, man. This is exactly what we wrote down in our sticky note. Right down here, 415s, 416s, 417s. Let's see if it can go upside right now. $3 in the money on this play right now. We did get some out on the way down, man. I mean, I'm now waiting for 423. Let's see if we can get back up to the 200 period moving average and really start rocking it there on that one. And here goes Apple. So Apple, again, VWAP, perfect trade up there into VWAP, really low of the day into VWAP. Did not get green on Apple. We took a hit there because we're trading with big shares early, and that was a hit there, and we were not feeling it. Obviously, we got out, and we had talked about how poorly I think that we did there. But yeah, right back into it, and so far so good on the Apple trade now as we get back into it. And now we'll wait to see. I'm waiting at 236.50, so let's see if we can now break through VWAP and then get into the 200 period moving average. That would be a decent area for myself to be getting out, but we are now at, and congratulations to everybody, we're at the high of the day. What's up, Ozan? For our net, and the Nasdaq looks like it is trying to break higher as well. What's up to Keith Smith? And just what's up to everybody in the chat, man? And this is the thing. This is why we talk about it. I think the more important thing is green or red, because like Keith, you're up 20K on Tesla calls. This is what we're saying. Like, congratulations to everybody that's balling on all these things. You know, some people, 20K might be a drop in the bucket for some. It may be a huge day for others, you know, but at the end of the day, you just want to make sure that you're making good trades. And I think that as long as you're doing that, you'll be able to figure it all out, guys. So again, thank you for supporting the show. Keep the good vibes going here. That's what we do every single day live on at Trader TV. We're going to go to Adair in a minute. I just want to quickly have a look here at some of the crypto space. We haven't done, I don't think we've talked about crypto other than some of these stocks that have been kind of crypto related. But today, not great, right? Solana is finally kicking back a little bit. It made that high around 248, now 234. So a nice little run up there. Ethereum's been the one that was weaker out of them all. Solana is the weakest, but out of Bitcoin and Ethereum, it's been Ethereum downside right there, down 1.4%. Dogecoin there, 26 cents. Nice run, man. That was 18 or 19 cents not too long ago, so that's been a nice run there for Dogecoin. Cardano, 86 cents.
115's been a problem.
Yeah, 415, 415?
I mean, Bitcoin.
Bitcoin 115, yeah, for sure. And then XRP, we bought some at 280 and didn't get out. So, I mean, it's just telling you guys what I've been doing. I like Ripple down there and XRP at some of those levels. We just got out of something. Oh, boy. Oh, man. Neil, what kind of a day is happening right now? We've been hitting 2 stocks and 2 stocks only. And there goes Apple. Bang, that's right, Joe, man. Can't wait to have Joe and Sharif with us for an extended period. But here we go, man. We are now $2 in the money on Tesla. A nice move up there for Apple as it's taken out and getting back in to the swing of things now. So $1.50 on Tesla, sorry, $2.50 on Tesla, $1.50 now on Apple as we get ready to wrap it up. But I think that was long-winded, but we are waiting for Adara, I believe. So let's go over to Adara and see what she's up to, and then we'll come back to Neil.
I'm seeing some other comments coming through here as well. Scott Besson continuing to talk about TikTok, saying that their commercial terms for that, again, the attempted deal for the U.S. to have this divestiture of TikTok with China. These deals will apparently preserve U.S. national security interests and the app's quote-unquote Chinese characteristics. So you'll still get what you like about TikTok while being in better taste when it comes to U.S. national security. He also noted that the Chinese delegation apparently initially demanded compensation for the TikTok sale through tariff and export control concessions. Sounds like they didn't end up giving them that. But again, seems like these details are still getting ironed out as well. Let's talk here about the sector map because finance doing really well this morning. JP Morgan, Visa, and MasterCard all to the upside. Consumer durables looking great as well. Tesla up 5%. Elon Musk bought roughly $1 billion worth of Tesla stock on Friday. Friday was an epic rally for the stock. Today is struggling a little bit more. Retail trade, with the exception of Amazon, a bit weaker here. We've got technology services. Google to the upside. This one made a new all-time high and actually joined the $3 trillion club for the first time ever. Oracle also really strong. This one has been a little bit mixed here after its earnings report on Tuesday, but right now actually breaking back below the 300 levels, so giving back some of that early strength. Electronic technology also on watch. Nvidia red. We know we have a couple different catalysts here with China and chips in general, also Nvidia specifically, but Apple to the upside, Arista Networks to the upside, GE to the upside, and Intel here up almost 5%. They finally figured a way to offload that Altera stake, guys. Back to you.
Yes, thank you. Thanks for the story there on Intel. That's one of the benefits of having Adara around. You know, you'll hunt for the story, but you might not be able to find it. She is all over it, making sure that we don't trade blind to everybody. So give a big shout out to her. I was asked why I got out of Gemini, just to hopefully get back in VWAP, but you don't know. Like all I can do is observe that it was holding the low from Friday, and once it happened, we liked the short back into VWAP. It didn't get there the first time, so it held 33. It then did this entry again, like it got to 33. This is what we're waiting for. There's your topping tail wick. On the way back down, grab it at 33. Stop goes there. Play it to the first level, which had been 32.5 before. And if it breaks that, respect the low of the day another time here on Gemini. As long as it holds that low, then we're going to respect it. Aldrin, you just making that up?
What did he say?
DJT will own a portion of TikTok.
Oh, no, yeah.
He's just making that stuff up. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day.
Maybe true. Who knows?
Well, I mean, I would imagine if that was actually true, DJT would be going ham. Right? Like, this is the way I look at it. This is how I know. Like, yeah, DJT was going to own a piece of TikTok. I don't think the stock would be up 0.8%. I'm just saying. They're pure fit. Like, they're a fintech, right? Like, this is more an adjacent crypto play, DJT, than anything else at this moment. At least I think so.
I would say we got to start doing some very serious investigations into everything if all of a sudden DJT is part of TikTok.
No, exactly. There's no chance. Like they've already thrown their hat into the fintech.
Well, also, like, I mean, what would be the reason for awarding them anything?
If no TikTok deal, the Trump Xi meet would have been off the table.
Right, that makes sense. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying about Nvidia.
Nvidia needs some certainty. I think that's what Nvidia is waiting for. We need some certainty as to what's going on with China, and then we can be breaking out this 185 high. Because this is the level that everybody has been gearing up for, and it's been selling, and then the second you try to press back into 180, you're putting in lower highs and all that stuff. And what else is there left? Blowout earnings, check. Right? Good valuation, at least relative to its peers, concerning its growth. That's actually pretty good. It's not as expensive as you think, especially when you compare it to AMD. Check. You know, they already told you how much upside there is if they're able to sell to China. So we all know this is lining up. We don't care too much about the rates because that's already locked in for Wednesday. So it's just a matter of some certainty with China, not this tit-for-tat nonsense, because all negotiation nonsense as far as I'm concerned. Investigating them over antitrust or monopoly, investing for U.S. chip companies for dumping, that's just pure negotiation tactic in this particular case. We'll get that meeting done, and then NVIDIA can get some more upside for sure. Alan A., this should be the easiest answer of all time. I don't think there's ever been an easier question on this show. Who do we cheer for in the NHL? The Toronto Maple Leafs. We're in Toronto. And if you're a Toronto fan, if you're in Toronto, then you should cheer for the Toronto Maple Leafs, with the notable exception of my uncle, who has I have an uncle who has so much spite for the Maple Leafs, and so he just cheers for Montreal. Anyways. Well, who doesn't?
No, Dara's saying
What'd you
Winnipeg,
say?
but I was like, Winnipeg, even the people in Winnipeg, I mean, it's such a small town over there. Dara, yeah, I know it's a city, but I'm saying you've lost the team once. It could happen again. Who knows? But I hope not. I want to have more Canadian teams
not less.
in the NHL, not less. But shout out to the Dara's Winnipeg.
Why doesn't Quebec get a team?
I mean, here we go. I mean, both of these are mine, although we
Quebec
both like.
get another one again.
There we go. We both like the Buffalo Bills, and then here's our little. Here, let me just say, here's our little Maple Leaf guy. I got this at a game, so there it is. Connor Brown. It's actually the Marlies right there. I'm trying to get Leaf tickets. Atlanta, come on. With Quebec City
over
should get
Quebec
one
City.
before
Quebec City should get a team, man.
Toronto should get a second team before any other U.S. teams come in. Honestly.
Well, the GTA.
Preach on myself. All right, so yeah, just quickly, you guys are wondering, like, what is this guy doing with Tesla? I see in the chat. Yeah, man, I mean, it's now $4 in the money, so what we're doing with it is not really worrying about it too much. But we just got another piece out there at the 50-period moving average, which is right here. So I would say, yeah, my next offer is 424. Right here at the 200 period. I would say it's a little silly not to get something out in front of this. So let's go 419.50. We'll get out of another piece of it again. And there was Chase Pax, or someone had asked and gave that $200 super chat. I want to thank you so much for that, as well as the biggest super chat there today so far. We want to thank you for it. If I can go back and find it. Oh, it's not. Where is it? It's gone on fan funding now. That's strange. We have all these other ones, but I don't see yours. And anyways, thank you so much for that. I mean, I don't know. That's weird. Where did that go? All right, back to the live chat then. Funny, it should be there. But anyways, you know, it was about this trade, right? And it was about what we had done here on Tesla, and, you know, just getting pieces out as it started to climb back up to the upside. So I think that's what I've been doing here. It hasn't been a smooth run like that right off the open. I thought that this was really, we're up marginally more now than we were, but most of that, there it is. Money, even as we're talking, we're putting some damage here on the board. So, but at the end of the day, there it is, up to VWAP-C. So we get at 419.50 there, I believe was my trade. Yeah, 419.50. So VWAP at 420. You know, we'll take that out, no problem. There to the upside as we wait to see where bigger gets from here. So, yeah, let's just continue to, again, be happy with our trading and see if we can't, you know, hold this for just a little bit longer here now with our Tesla trade, and see if we can get back up to there into 424 and change. So that's what we're looking for now. And then Apple's, that dollar club as well, that's made its way all the way back up. Hey man, if the futures want to run, we've got two bangers on today, Apple and Tesla, and that's it. I've traded two names today, and I'm actually at three now, more than 3 times our daily goal, but that's pretty much all Tesla, as we're still not even green on Apple, right? We took a much bigger hit here than we're making right now, but this is position pending. Let's see if we can get back up here into 236, 237. Okay, I think we got to go to Adara, and then we'll come back with a segment that I know Joseph and a lot of us like here, what's for lunch.
Still
are we going back to Adara?
Apparently.
Yes, okay there, Andre. Let's go back to Adara, and then we will hope that it's not going to be tilapia again. Adara?
It's not.
I wouldn't mind tilapia. Let's take a look here at the US dollar index. This thing continues to chop around in more or less a range. If you look back at the weekly chart again, we did make a slightly lower low out of this range last week, but even this week we still are trading in between that very tightly weekly range. So to avoid saying the word range or weekly again, I will just say the US dollar has been pretty stagnant. There's not a lot of that excitement, especially considering this time last year, we were starting a pretty notable rally heading into the end of the year. Now this year we continue to stagnate. It's also worth noting here, economic data coming this week. It's not going to be as exciting as last week with CPI and PPI, but tomorrow we get quite a few prints, including retail sales and import and export prices. Then on Wednesday, of course, we do get the biggest highlight of the week, the FOMC rate decision. That'll come in at 2 p.m. on Wednesday. 2:30, we'll get the press conference with Fed Chair Jerome Powell, one of his last, given that his term will end in May 26. I want to mention as well here, we are seeing participants again, entirely price in a cut. We don't have anybody expecting there will be a hold, but we've seen a lot of, I guess, for lack of a better term, hemming and hawing about the size of that cut. Now, we know that people from the Trump administration and some of these potential Fed chair candidates have been talking and doing interviews saying they want a 50 basis point cut. Right now, though, only 4% of participants are expecting that we will get a 50 basis point cut. However, everyone is expecting some kind of cut. Looks like it'll be 25 basis points. We'll have to see if that's what actually comes to fruition on Wednesday at 2 p.m. Back to you.
Oh boy.
It'll come to fruition on Wednesday.
Thank you. Yeah, we'll get half a point cut. Absolutely. Or not. I mean, Tesla's acting like it has a quarter for sure. It looks like Tesla wants half a point right there. It's just ripping. There goes Apple, by the way, up again to these highs. So wow. And then there goes Tesla now, $6. It's trying to go through VWAP, and I'm going to let it do that. I don't have my next offer is where it is, man. 424 rate. I mean, I should put to 423.50. So let's just do that right now. 423.40s. We'll put an offer there. I'm not here this afternoon, so it'll be Joe and Neil. So I'm going to have to try to get some of these out here as we continue to get going. So join Joe. Again, he's going to do the last 2 hours with Neil here, and Obi and Joe coming in just a couple minutes. But we told you we'd tell you what was. All right, what's for lunch here? Yeah, this is to me little. It's definitely. I mean, if you're,
I didn't look.
You're trading over here today. You got some chicken dinner winners. That's for sure. Congratulations, everybody. But I don't consider this a win. This has not been a good chicken for us, as far as I know. Today, it's Chipotle glazed chicken. It sounds okay, but this has been a big fail recently anyways.
I find the chicken goes, it's just a matter of whether it's dry or not.
Right. Yeah, and it's just been recently.
And the last time it was just really dry. Yeah, it's not that I don't think it's automatically bad. I just think it's like luck of the draw whether it's
been a fail. Chipotle glazed chicken, spiced potato wedges. So that's good. Roasted eggplant with peppers.
I don't want potato wedges with my salad though. That's the problem. They put weird things as the side of the salad. If you get a salad lunch, it's because I don't want carbs. Yeah. I want to lower the carbs, so a big plate of potatoes goes.
Hopefully we get some of this. I mean, I am loving, and this may be the Italian blood, but roasted eggplant with peppers. Come on, that is fantastic. So hopefully there's a little touch of Italian in that one.
Yeah, I love it.
And then the chef's choice salad. So as Neil said, we'll wait to see. Neil and I both salad participants, so we'll wait. But oh boy, you're about to get Obi coming through, of course. But there goes Apple right now, man. Follow me on. Honestly, just don't do anything actually. Do whatever your heart desires. That's the best thing about trading and what we're doing right here. But there's Tesla long, 4.816 to 4.18. If you picked up those levels, you're now $5 in the money and change. And you could have reloaded that many times as we've done on the show. And then patience pays with Apple, as there it goes right there. Nvidia 177, SMR 138. Let's see if we get those. Short trade right there. Amazon now popping up. That just busted up 2% right now as Amazon's going without me. Wow. Tesla right now, no stressla today. This name just keeps on climbing for your boy. Nice move up there for Tesla. You're not going to be able to get the smile off my face right here. Big time trading there for Tesla. I'm going to share it, but there's the 416 to 418 levels. Bye. Nice move here as Tesla continues to climb higher and higher and higher. So just on the shares I have left is 1 day goal on the shares I have left. So we've already gotten out of a bunch up here. So I want to thank that big super chat from before. I want to thank everybody for continuously watching us and supporting the show. Thank you so much for doing that, man. It's been a great morning, and you're welcome, Bernard. There it goes, man. Crypto G, I know you're tired of my days off, but yeah, they're going to keep on happening, my guy. I've been here 24 years. So those are, we get a lot. I get a lot of those days off, and I got to use them now because Neil and I and Brendo and all the crew here, Obi and Joe and Sharif, we used to sort of wait. And then near what happened was December was like a nightmare.
It was bad.
You know, but yeah. I take that as thank you so much. And I miss not being here as well. Especially I miss the P&L. But I do miss you guys. So shout out to everybody for keeping it real.
That's one of those things. Like I know when I first started trading for my first 10 years, I would never take time off because I would never be able to justify it. I always ended up regretting it. Like after a while, you're just like, you should travel, you should do this and that. I'm going to see my brother this weekend, actually. Oh, nice. We're taking Monday off. Going down to Halifax. You have to reward yourself's not the word I want to use, but like every now and then, you've got to take yourself a little bit of a break. And I know it is reward yourself. But to me, if you like travel, you travel. If you like whatever, you do whatever. It's just find ways to reward yourself. Gemini, we'll see if it rewards myself for the fourth time today. It's the fifth. Look, it's the fifth execution short, but it's not really like the fifth short. Like it's 1, 2, 3. It's the fourth time short. We just took a couple of fills on the way down this time. But if it loses VWAP, then I don't mind. I got to be able to get out of it at some point. Like it held yesterday's low, Friday's low. So if it busts VWAP, then we got to wait for a different price. At least for now, it's still underneath the volume weighted average price. Robinhood did make the flat bottom break eventually. So Robinhood, there's no story with Robinhood. Robinhood down 1.5%, but it was failed breakout. Although we did have a long that worked from up to about 117 there. Now it's breaking down this prior low. It's a big gap fill. I think there's room to 110 on Hood. As the market's high, it's just lower. I just don't think this is more than, don't get all in a tizzy or anything. Robinhood just failed 120, and it's probably in a gentle pullback to the 50-period moving average. The stock is still an absolute beast. It's just that it's in a short-term down run. It's now like the fourth day in a row that it looks like it wants to be a little bit red relative to the market. So I was trying to I liked it long for a breakout play. Obviously, it didn't go. Now you're breaking some major support here on Robinhood. Only about 1 minute before we get back, but I did want to throw back, and I know it's always on the list, to give you an idea. I mean, Opendoor, I only really traded off the $10 level, at least until it gets to about 920. So because it's headed down, you can see it's up 6% here, but because it is losing VWAP, waiting very patiently, looking for a reversion play in at 920 and the 880 level. I keep trying to get rid of these Fibonacci's. It's like, I was complaining that it didn't save my Fibonacci's on Friday, and then I did successfully save them, and now I can't get rid of them. They just keep popping back up. I don't use fibs. I only had them on the chart because Michael Noss was introducing us some levels, and I wanted to throw them up to see how they played on Friday. And they ended up holding pretty well. But my level is going to be at 880 if we can't hold on, and then the 920 level as Opendoor is giving a lot of its early gains back, as you can see. But as Sean mentioned, we do have a bit of a treat right now. That is going to be Obi. That is going to be Joseph. We'll be back at 2 o'clock. I'll be back with Joe at 2 o'clock, but enjoy.